Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 606 of the GeekVerse podcast. I'm the Clown Prince of Delays, Travis Snail, and I'm joined by...
The Big Dan Lin fan, Kirkland Patzer.
And then I'm Mark Aster, Dilma.
I'm the watchdog, Taylor Field.
What a range of topics we got. That's what we don't have like a newscast in 2.5 weeks. Just wild stuff. And then just stuff dropped today. So we're going to get right into it. Down below, everything you need to know, the two most important things. Dylan just talked about side quests. Dylan, what can they do? I see in your little header right there. Obviously, you can get more details on side quests, but maybe you can say just a little quick thing in case, main geek first episode and tell people what they need to be doing,
Yeah, huge announcement this week's side quest is that
GV Big.
Yeah, GV Big. Much like these guys have been making a movie, I've been making a video game, and it is now up on Steam.
Shalom.
And you can wish list it now. It's not, you can't buy it yet, but it's out there on the wish listing. You can see some screenshots and whatnot. But yeah, if you wish list it, it helps a lot. It boosts it up, and then also keeps you posted when there's updates on the game and whatnot. So yeah, go do that if you want to support my funny, weird little game.
Yes, absolutely. I told Dylan today I'm making my first ever Steam account.
Yeah,
so I
Travis.
can wish this game.
Travis, you were playing the game today,
I did last
so,
night. I gave Dylan my word. I said the second I'm done my movie is the first game I'm playing, and that's what I did. I downloaded last night for a while because it won't be like this on Steam. It thought it was like do you trust this? Like, are you sure?
Yeah,
and it's like
I think when you upload to Steam, like it does the security stuff.
Yeah, but because I got the GV copy, I was like, yeah, it's mine. And then I played it. I'm very much enjoying it. I know you said Psychos probably talk about more, but yes, I said to Dylan, there's lots of good things about it, but what I love is just like the vibe. I love the second you boot in, the music, the look, you're like, okay, I know what you're going for here. And I love that. And there's a certain thing you cook with that I won't say, but I was a big fan of that. I genuinely laughed out loud. I was like, oh, this is great. So yeah, do that. But yeah, I'm going to be making my Steam account and then... Yeah, and then this Friday not for patrons, it's a rental. So it's going to be on Patreon, but it's something you'll be specifically. Our first film is out, Adrenochrome. It is I've seen it, Taylor and Kirkland have now seen it, Dylan has the link, and then I think there's I guess Madison's seen it as well. Taylor didn't tell us he was showing it to Madison. It was supposed just to be cast and crew only first.
He's out. All of his profits are gone. He just lost them.
Well, I guess she is there's a spoiler. She is cast and crew though, right? I guess we can reveal. We haven't. There's
fair then. I
yes,
think.
it is. Yes,
she gets a little sneak peek. Yeah.
If you're fans of GeekVerse and like the GUA, there's a few other people that pop up that we haven't announced. We haven't announced the full cast list, so there's lots of fun people pop up there. But yeah, go do that. It's gonna be, I can't remember what it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be somewhere around like $5 USD. It's gonna be some weird price, maybe $5.50 or something to bounce out the Patreon fees and everything. But gonna be that. Yeah. We dropped that Friday PST at midnight, and then it's going to be live till Tuesday, 12:01 PST AM. So it's going to be there for 4 days, because then after that, it's going to be locked away for about a year, and then it's going to be doing festivals and everything like that. As we said before, that's why, because some festivals are, hey, you can't have it streaming anywhere. So it's like, well, we want people because each and every one of you guys are the reason we did this and the reason we could make it. So you guys get to get the first crack at it, watch it, and we hope you enjoy it. So yeah, do that. There'll be an anonymous survey. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but Kirkland, how was it today with your first time watch? I saw your Letterboxd review, 1 out of 5, so I didn't do good.
Needs
Is it on
improvement.
Letterboxd?
Not yet. It will be. SBub says he's gonna make us a page and everything, but I want to wait till it's like full, like when it's when it's out there forever, because we've said before, in a year there'll always be a rental version, and then there's gonna be a buy option where you're gonna have bloopers, commentary tracks. We just talked about this. We're going to make a special features where we talk about all the injuries we had. I lost a mole on this movie. So if you buy it, it will be more, but you're going to get like 4 to 5 great special features and behind the scenes stuff. So,
Yeah, no, I had such a fun time watching it, especially in the order that it's supposed to be, because up until this point, other than
you'd only seen a rough cut.
Than a rough cut that you had sent me, I had only ever really seen like after we had shot footage, like watch it on the camera and be like, okay, yeah, I wonder how that's gonna link together. But to actually see it how it is with music, the way that it's meant to be seen on IMAX, I rented an IMAX theater. No,
nope.
Just kidding.
Still 1080.
We do what we can for the first project.
Exactly.
But, no, it was like a mix of emotions too, just like knowing that like it's done now. Like there's no extra shots that we have to do.
Thank God. They're like, oh no, Travis gonna text us. We need one more bite.
Exactly. No, but even like just some of the locations that we went to, and that some of those areas are just completely burnt down now. Like,
Yeah,
that
I know.
That is
It's
rare
crazy.
footage now that we have. And
Yeah.
no, what a journey, and it's super exciting. I can't wait for the rest of the world to see it. And yeah.
Yeah, and this is the time we get to enjoy it because now other people are going to see it and then ridicule us and everything like that.
It's a scary thing. It's a
Yeah.
scary thing.
Very, very nice, Taylor. So you did the thumbnail of Rob Passon crying, as I just saw Maddie say that in the chat there. So
Yeah,
nice.
he's
I
crying.
appreciate it. That's one, and I did appreciate you did 2026 in the red. I don't appreciate that you put James Gunn laughing, so I don't know what you're trying to insinuate there.
Oh, you know what I'm insinuating.
but we're gonna
I
get
dropped my
there.
thoughts in the Discord.
But Taylor, what did you watched with your wife the other day? You know, it was a good
Watched
time.
with my wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice because as I told you off air, we were watching Mean Girls, so we needed a nice palate cleanser. Needed to just kind of like change the.
So it was better than Mean Girls, the newest
yeah.
one.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
look at that! There we go. If it's better than Mean Girls 2023, you got that going on.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just it's crazy just to see everything finally come together and see it all and just really take it in and think, wow, this is us an actual a movie here. Like this is crazy. And I watch myself and I think, oh, like God, what am I doing?
Oh,
in
it's the
this scene?
worst. I
Like,
hate
oh.
it. I hate
I
it.
fast forwarded
loud,
through
but-
some of my scenes.
Oh, I meant Taylor's scene. I fast forward all Taylor's scene. You fast forward through your scenes, Kirkland? Oh,
There was a
my God.
couple lines. I don't know. It's just weird hearing myself. It's just weird hearing, like even when I recorded those and like sent them to you or whatever it might be. It's just like it's hard for me to re-listen to that. But I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well,
That's just a me
there-
thing, maybe.
No. There's some stuff too. Like even Madison when she's watching me like talking some of my scenes, then I like point
She
my.
fast forwards your scene.
Well, I do something else, and she's like Taylor, what are you doing? Like, you know that's not what that is, right? Like she's just mocking how I'm.
Oh, I'd love to know what moment you're talking about specifically.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's pretty. I think
misreading some social
anyone and anyone that knows a certain body part, without spoiling, will be able to figure out how much of an idiot my character was in this one scene.
Yes,
Just
yes,
hangs dong.
right.
I'm sure you
Hangs
know,
dong.
Travis.
Yes, right. Yeah, perfect line dialogue.
Was there like
but-
some full frontal in this movie? Like, what are we talking about here?
No, it's definitely for sure. I guess I've never said. I will
That
say
would be
it
really
is.
bold if any of you got naked for this project.
Well, okay. As a big spoiler, Taylor and I both have nude scenes in the next movie, though. So
God.
yeah. So there's some stuff going on. Taylor's a little accidental, but it ended up working out fantastic. But you'll see that in 2025. But it is definitely rated R. It is definitely rated R. There's in the first 5 minutes, there's a couple stuff that don't watch with the family and kids. We start off hot and heavy. So. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to hearing everyone's thoughts and everything. It's been a good time. I'm happy, that they can see it because there's many times where I had to be like, oh, this will make sense. Like, we're going to film this here and here and here. But, like, when it's all together, like, trust me and everything. So, yeah, no, a big shout out to you two. Like, obviously, we had other people, but a big shout out to Kirkland and Taylor for they spent a lot of hours and everything. And, yeah, and even though, Dylan, you're not getting this one, you're going to be the next one. A big shout out to you because same thing. We would not be making this movie if it wasn't for you and all of GeekVerse together and just the success. So it's a fun, like I said, it's a great time. You got a game coming out. We got a movie coming out. Like it's a great, and we got great podcasts and everything. So it's been fun. It's been a great time. So, yeah, let's talk. And third thing is Patreon. Go there, support us. Tons of good thing. Right now, you got like 3 retrospectives: Twilight, Two Hands, Teen Beach. You got a couple Mad Max and Apes movies. There's like I think 7 podcasts right now that are either exclusive or early and all ad free that just got uploaded like all last in the past 2 weeks. So there's tons of stuff up there. And 2 this week you're gonna want because an exclusive episode we're recording after this, the X-Men fan cast. It's like an X-Men for like I guess the MCU, but we're using the roster of the X-Men 92/97. So we're casting. I got the list here, so I don't forget anyone. We are casting Wolverine, Cyclops, Rogue, Jubilee, Storm, Gambit, Morph, Beast, Jean Grey, and Xavier. And that's going to be exclusive. It's going to be a draft one, so it's going to be like, hey, if Taylor picks Nick Cage at Cyclops, no one can. Those are always good times. So, yeah, you want to check that out. And then next month, we're going to do the villains, and then we'll see how they go. I thought about the third doing a part 3 and do like some side characters, like some like the one-offs when you get like oh, I had a perfect one. Oh, maybe like the Bishops, but like, like the Colossus, like the Icemans, like the Havocs or the Banshees, stuff like that. So, yeah, what's going on, Kirkland?
Just think about the Nasty Boys. I'm
The
waiting
Nasty
for
Boys for sure.
the casting is
yeah.
going to come in for those guys.
That'd be fun.
Well, let's get into it. So, yeah, we got a lots of stuff to talk today. We're going to talk about the Batman delay. We're going to do our X-Men 97 predictions. We got some trailers that I definitely forgot to watch a couple. So I'll either sneak them in or it's been a busy week. It's been a busy week. So but we'll get there. Nolan news, lots of Watchdog news, tons of stuff there. So let's get into this. This happened today. So the Batman is going to be delayed. The Batman Part 2 is delayed from October 2025 to October 2026. A whole year. I'm a bad podcaster because I forgot to pull it up because I don't know if this is not anything to do with it, but it was like a couple days ago there was like new rumored plot stuff, so everyone was like getting somewhat excited, being like, oh man, finally, because it's been a minute, and it was supposed to start filming last November, and then it didn't, and it was supposed to start filming this March, and then it didn't, and it's like, okay, it's looking like more summertime. Same thing like Avengers, right? We keep hearing these dates. And then that didn't really happen. So then now we get this word that it's delayed. Apparently the official reason is because due to the strike, there's been another thing put out there by a scooper that they couldn't find filming stages because there's so much filming. I'm going to start with you. One, if you have any thoughts, but two, are you, because here's the thing, right? Because the internet is the way it is and the DC is the way it is. And I'll find that plot thing in a second. Like DC has a plethora of how did this Batman movie, do you remember what the first version of the Batman movie was, Taylor? Like when it was announced?
What?
When the Batman, yeah, no, trust me, it'll make sense. When the Batman was announced, who was writing it, who was starring it, who was directing it?
Okay, I'm gonna try my best here. My memory is super, super bad. Wasn't it like weren't they gonna do like Nightwing in there? Wasn't it like Matt Reeves or someone attached?
No,
to it?
Matt Reeves was attached to it at some point. I wonder what happened to him.
And then wasn't it turning into a Nightwing movie? I remember things got very murky, I thought.
All right, Kirkland, you want a shot?
Was it Ben Affleck?
Yes.
Directing by Ben Affleck?
Yes. Remember, he announced that slate. And this is why, for people that I do understand of the hope is, hey, they're getting delayed. And yeah, good job, Kirkland. And it's going to let Matt Reeves cook, right? Give him the time. But then there's the flip side of when the Batman was announced, way back when on a slate, it was starring Ben Affleck and it was directed by Ben Affleck. And then he dropped out because he said, oh, I can't direct, it's too hard. So we're going to get Matt Reeves. He didn't say that, that's clarifying. He said at Comic-Con he would play an 8 for Matt Reeves. And then Ben Affleck slowly went away. And then it wasn't part of the DCU. So that's, I understand people's holdup of, hey, there's a new universe starting, and we've been here before where a lot of bad shit can happen because this is 4 years from now, and the hope is, hey, it's DC, let's hope it doesn't go wrong. So Taylor, because I remember a long time ago when James Gunn got fired, you'd pitched that this was just all, that was you had a conspiracy theory, and he'd eventually get hired back, and he did. I don't know if your theory was right, because I think it was just tinfoil hat, but still.
But it's right. He got hired back.
Well, we don't know if that was the reason why. You said your reason was Disney said, we're going to fire you, you're going to go to DC, make a movie, and we're going to bring you back. I think now that he's with DC fully as the president, I don't know if that's true, but
it all happened.
Sure, but we don't know the reasoning. But either way, what is your thoughts? And are you, because why did you put James Gunn in the thumbnail? Are you actually on this bandwagon that you are concerned that this is not going to happen and, the DCU Batman's going to take precedent and there's more to this delay? Because, yeah, it's a full year. It's not even just a March. It's a full year, that's big.
So, you have the Batman, March 4th, 2022. Then you have James Gunn, October 2022, taking over DC. Now, this movie's already come out. It's already doing its own thing, and James Gunn hasn't implemented his new regime yet. So when he comes in there and he makes these changes, I like to prescribe myself to a good conspiracy, if you know me. And so I think that there is some interesting things here when you look at the fact that, okay, maybe this university is ushering out needs to take precedence, and he's just gonna maybe shift the Batman Part 2 back a year so that he can commit more resources and time to his current universe. I don't think that's not one of his creations, and so therefore I don't think he I don't want to say excitement, but a lot of urgency to deliver that project ASAP. I think that he's got his own university. He's trying to build his own thing. Like what he's ushering Peacemaker season 2 release date. When is that?
He's ushering. Why do you use it like
ushering.
that?
Fall. Sorry, what was the
Extreme
date?
words.
What was the date for the Batman Part 2 again?
Next Halloween.
Next Halloween.
So now it's 2 Halloweens away. It's
Okay.
It's over 900 days away. It's almost 1,000 days away now. Which
And
is,
so he's ushering in Peacemaker season 2 before that.
First of all, I don't like the word. I don't know about ushering. That feels like something
a new
new.
era
but,
of Peacemaker.
It's his regime. He's ushering it in. So I just think that
no, they are season 2 of Peacemaker is filming this summer. Yes, that's what's happening.
And it's coming out fall 2025, right?
That's what John Cena said. James Gunn said like that's the hope, but John Cena's not the president of DC Studios, so.
I just feel
Not
like
yet.
he's. If you really want to put a movie out, strikes, all that kind of stuff, like you'll get that movie out. There's always a way to do it. Exhibit A, look at them doing this Jurassic Park movie. They lost a director in talks. They put another one in there, and they're sticking to that release date. I think if you have the resources as CEO of DC, you can buy Willikers, get that movie out. And
So you're saying the solution is they should have booted Matt Reeves for someone else just to get it out?
Sorry, what?
Because your scenario was, hey, to get that Jurassic World movie out, they bumped out of the director, put him in. Are you saying that's what they should have done with Matt Reeves? Is bump him out and then put a different director in?
For the Batman Part 2?
If they really wanted it out, that's what you're saying?
No. I'm
Okay.
saying that
Boot out
I
Robert
feel like
Pattinson
these-
and get a movie.
bring Ben back.
I feel like they can divert the resources. Like there's studios all across the world, they could be just simultaneously filming and working on projects. I don't feel like they need to necessarily boot this off to the side and then just keep working on his own little projects, his own little bubble that he's invested in, which is, that's fine. There's a lot of stories there that he wants to tell, and there's a lot of people that are really excited to see these stories and excited to watch these stories unfold. But I do think, though, that they should have still committed the time to working on that film, because when is filming going to start for the Batman Part 2? Is it
Well, they're in no
gonna be
rush
this year,
now.
next year?
They're
Well, yeah,
in
that's
no
exactly it. They're in no rush. But I mean, they don't have to rush it, but they should spend the next year just get filming underway, make it happen while they're.
What if the script's not ready, though? What if that reason of the strike's legitimate? That because the writing strike happened, they couldn't work on it completely.
Yeah, what are you
Part
going
of
to
me-
shoot without a script?
Yeah.
Part of me feels like, wait, when was the?
Seen an MCU movie where they just show up and improvise everything. This is cinema.
A part of me feels like maybe that script could have been done beforehand,
It could have been, yeah.
and so
There's a possible world.
There is a
I mean,
world, yeah.
Is there a world where they wrote Part 1 and Part 2 back to back?
No,
or did
that
they-
wasn't
no?
for sure. Yeah, because
There's
Matt
a
Reeves,
world, though. There is a world out
There's
there.
a world,
I
but
agree, there is a world.
Matt Reeves said that he did start working on it right after Part 2 or Part 1, though, which did come out 2 years ago now. So that is the only thing that for me is like a little. The only thing that wouldn't be iffy about the script is if he submitted it and there was problems or they didn't like it or he wanted to rewrite it, and then that's when the strike happened. Because I feel like it's been a while, but I'm not gonna, as I've seen myself, I'm not gonna say, oh, he should have been done by now. I'm just saying it has been quite a while. But if there was some things they wanted to change with the script, then they couldn't have. And then now, I think again, a full year that's a big delay. But as I point out, because Maddie was trying to be hopeful, there was 4 years between Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, Batman versus Superman, and whatever you think about the movie, that was got a date and then delayed 10 months later and still came out, right? So it's not like all doom and gloom. I think it's just because it is, you got DC, who has a guy that people don't trust. I mean, Zaslav, not James Gunn. You got them maybe being bought by another company again, and then you got James Gunn who's trying to start a studio. I think there's a lot of, and as much as I love James Gunn, like you can't trust what the man says. I'm not saying he's a liar, but there's many times be like, yeah, we can't wait to work with Ben, and Ben's like, I'm not working with them at all. Or like, oh, we'll see what happens. I guess he never said anything about Henry Cavill, but like we all know how that kind of went. Same thing with Gal Gadot, like, oh, we'd love to work together, and then there's nothing to be heard. So just because if he's
anything about Robert.
No, he just said it was delayed. He confirmed that today. Someone tagged him. He said, "Yeah, it's delayed." So, yeah.
Question is,
Yep.
because I feel like from my memory, it seemed like we knew very soon after Batman came out that a sequel was happening. Like it got confirmed pretty quick.
I think
Now,
so.
I could be making this up in my head, but it felt that way.
I think it was in the summer. I'll try and find an article about when it happened, but I think it was sometime. Oh, I think it was. When is CinemaCon?
The DC summer
No.
conference thing.
Hang on, I got on the calendar here. CinemaCon, I think it's. Where is it here? Oh,
That's what
hang
S-Bucks
on.
thinks, so it's probably true. CinemaCon.
I just
When
don't
is
know
that? Is that a
when.
summer event?
I think it's whenever. Okay, I know it's before June because April. So if Batman came out in
So
March,
a month after it released.
about a month, yeah, because that was the start of the panel because it was after that the new buyers and everyone was off, everyone was worried, and the first guy to come out was Reeves being like, we're doing a sequel. So it's been tentatively April 2022. So it's been 2 years.
That makes the whole thing crazier for me because by the time they announced it publicly, they'd already been discussing it for weeks at that point. It seems like probably even before the movie came out, they're like, yeah, there's a good chance we're going to greenlight this second one here. Even maybe they had. And then just seeing that it did well at the box office gave that extra confirmation. But it's like, how the hell has this thing been taking so long to get to the next stage? It seems weird to me. Like if Matt Reeves had done some other movie in between, that timeline would actually make a lot of sense. But now it's seeming like, what is going on here? It seems like they're having more issues with this than they should. And obviously there's a million things behind the scenes, and there was the strikes which delayed everything. But it's like I'm kind of shocked that the script wasn't done before the strike, and maybe there was one, and then they decided it's not very good, let's rework it, or maybe it just needs a couple tweaks, and then that kicks everything down the road where other people are booked up doing other things. But just kind of crazy to me, and it's weird because I'm not a big Batman guy, but it's like I'm very excited for this, so I'm actually disappointed by this delay. And so I feel like there's probably a lot of people, or maybe there's not a lot of people in my boat. Most people like Batman, but it's like you guys should really get on it here because I don't know, you don't want to like lose the hype train on that. And so it's disappointing, and hopefully there's some good reasons for it, and it doesn't keep getting kicked, and this is the last delay that we see at this point. Because it's already 2 years old. That's crazy.
So yeah, it would be 2 years and 7 months from the first one. That's almost 5 years since it comes out, which is crazy. And like I'm very curious because I've said this before, where I am excited, but I still am cautious of James Gunn says, "Oh, we're doing our Batman film too, right?" And it's just, so what happens now? Is that a press, like, especially, let's say James Gunn is fully, not with Taylor, let's say he's fully all down, Matt Reeves, I want you to do your movie. I'm not going to, we're delaying it because of the script. But with James Gunn, I thought the idea was, okay, this Batman was going to come out, and then you'd probably get another one with the universe. But now with this thing getting kicked, like, do you focus now, hey, we got to get ours out because this is still like 2 years away? Or now is it like, well, we were going to wait till Matt Reeves was done the second one, and now we're waiting a while? My also tinfoil hat, which I don't want, I God forbid hope there's no version of this where it's getting folded into the DCU, because Matt Reeves is working on a DCU project. And if that were to come out, so what I don't like, he was working on an Arkham Asylum show that was in the Batman the Pattinson universe, but now they've changed it, and it's going to be in the DCU universe.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Penguin, did that come out?
It's coming out this year.
Okay.
So we got that coming out,
I
and the rumor
forgot about that. That's at least something in the interim.
And Pattinson's rumored to be in it too. He's rumored, like, as I think just like an episode.
Okay,
probably.
I forgot about that. That softens the blow a little bit. Not that I'm personally interested in that show, but I think just in general to have something coherent.
You can give the pilot a chance. Give the pilot a chance. See what it's like.
We'll see. We'll see what it releases on. We'll see how many episodes there is.
It's gonna be Crave. It's gonna be Crave. That I know.
Okay, maybe I'll give it a go.
Crave.
But yeah, what you mentioned there of the. Because what's it called? The Brave and the Beautiful, or
Brave and the Bold.
James?
Yeah,
that sounds like a porn
That's a soap opera.
Brave and the Beautiful is a soap opera. Yeah.
Anyway, it's like intuitively you would think, okay, if especially James Gunn starting this new universe and things are kind of iffy with WB and how much cash flow they have, like Superman and Batman, you want to do those things before anything else, or like maybe cheaper shows, like maybe Creature Commando is really easy to produce or something like that. So it's like you want to move that to the top of the queue, but then if it gets to the point where, okay, well, we pushed this Batman movie so far ahead that we're recently at the same year as the Batman 2, you don't want to do that.
Oh,
so you
man,
kick it,
double
but it's
Batman.
like not like WB has all this money to sit on and like wait on release their movies. Like they kind of have to release stuff. So yeah, that is a conundrum, because it seems at this point like, okay, I guess you kick Batman, Brave and you just said it and I already forget it. Brave and
Bold.
Brave and Bold. Kick that down the road.
Yeah,
but
that's a long kick then.
This seems like a big problem. I would say.
Because if you were to kick it down the road, what is the earliest? 2027. So you have Superman come out 2025, and then Batman coming out 2027, or Brave and Bold. But it is interesting. We don't know anything else
another
for
movie in between those. I would
I
imagine.
would think, right? Yeah. Oh, probably Supergirl. I think that's the one that's rumored to be furthest along. But
Okay.
as
Is
of
that
right
even
now,
further along than Batman, because Batman, I don't think we have really like any casting or anything yet, right?
yeah, no, yeah, because they at least have that actress for
Right.
Brave and Bold, and there's a lot of rumors that
That could work out then. The time wise, a year is still seems kind of a lot, but I don't know. I guess it's Batman. People will go see it.
Yeah, and at least the only, not the only, I think there's maybe others, but one positive at least for them is now this year it's Joker, and then it's Superman, and then as of right now we'll see 2026, but for the next 2 years they only have one DC movie, and I think that is smart right now to just kind of make people miss the brand a little bit. Like I think it's even, for Pattinson's maybe not as smart. I think it's actually smart for Gunn though, because it makes his universe when he wants to start making more feel more fresh and not, oh, there's a bunch of DC movies out right now. It's like you just in the next what?
Does that work with WB though, and that they're not doing great in the financial world? Like that seems scary to me. If we just keep kicking things down the road, I just feel like we're gonna get sold again, and then James Gunn's gonna be gone, and then
well,
it's a
yeah.
whole mess.
Flip side is though you're not spending big money on those movies if you only got one DC movie a year though, right? So there's the flip maybe, and they got Dune. I imagine we'll get a Dune 3. I don't know what else Warner Bros. Got cooking. I'm sure they got something else. They have something, right? What are we not thinking of? They're always making Conjuring movies. We got another Conjuring tale. You got the last Conjuring, right?
Harry Potter TV show.
Yeah, right, the show that's going to be huge, and Game of Thrones, right? They got that stuff. So, but they'll still likely be sold. So this was what was going to come out before I pass over to Kirkland, because I'll get your thoughts quickly, Dylan, and I'll go back to Taylor eventually. This report came out March 10th. It's definitely C-tier scooper, but this was the rumored plot for the Batman 2. The Joker will play a similar role to Hannibal Lecter and provide Batman information. So kind of like, remember that deleted scene? It seems like they might actually do that in this movie. Clayface is going to be a serial killer who uses his victim's skin to change the appearance of his face. There will be more action sequences of the first movie, which to me could also be a huge red flag. Not a red flag, but that could be another sign of they get the script. And I actually don't feel like the Batman needed more. I thought it was the perfect amount. But you don't know who's greenlighting stuff now, right? And they might look at this and be like, oh, we'd really like more fighting in this one. Like, I know he's a detective, but yeah, Dylan, does any of that float your boat? The Hannibal Lecter stuff, you know?
Remind me who's playing Clayface again? That's
Nobody
casted,
yet.
Right?
Nobody yet. No.
Oh, okay.
No one's cast except, as right now, the rumor is it's Batman, Gordon, and Joker. And those are only 3 people that have been cast. So, and I guess Alfred. I imagine Circus is going to come back, so.
Yeah, what about Zoe Kravitz? Like,
I hope.
We kind of left off in a spot where she could not, but especially after watching High Fidelity earlier, not this year, I guess a few months ago at this point, I really want her to come back. I want to see more of her, but
I think she will.
yeah, I'm into that plot. I mean, I don't once again, we talked about Clayface a few months ago. I don't really know anything about that character, so it's hard for me to dig into the realm of the comics and stuff. But
do you think they can do that in PG-13?
Really...
That plot that also concerns me too. Using people's skins as masks to change his appearance. That sounds very like, I don't know how you do that in a PG-13 world. That doesn't seem goofy.
I guess if it's just like overly CGI, but then you don't want it to be goofy, so it's like where's the line on that with the kind of darker, serious tone of these movies? So I guess that does get a bit tricky. But sorry, what was the last point about
more
the
action than the first?
Yeah, the action. I also agree. I agree with you. I don't feel like, and I haven't rewatched that movie ever. I don't think since the theater. So I'm a little fuzzy on elements of it. But yeah, that's not something I would think of as feedback of after watching the first one. Is definitely could use more action. It felt just right to me. So
yeah.
Don't know if I love that, but I also don't hate it. If it's like a few more minutes, one more action scene in the whole movie, sure, that's fine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, as long as to me you don't lose the focus and it doesn't become an action movie. I like the detective with some action because I feel like that's what Brave and Bold's going to be. Is that can be the action movie,
right?
You
and
know?
even if we're introducing new characters, obviously you got to set them up in some way. But a lot of our characters already have that groundwork set up, so maybe in that way there's more screen time to spare if you look at it that way.
Mm-hmm. All right, Kirkland, we've been talking for a bit, and we're going to talk for a little more after this ad break.
Bastard.
And we're back. That was a good one, eh? That was I set you
baited
right
me
up.
in.
Yeah, good
Got
job.
him.
So I thought I'm throwing lots at you. The plot rumors, the delay, your thoughts.
I'll
Is it much
work-
ado about nothing?
I'll work backwards, I think.
Okay, so Ben
that's what I
Affleck was
remember.
cast in 2013.
So the supposed script, is that like the original supposed script? How you said like kind of Hannibal Lecter, like with the Joker.
Oh yeah, I think that's rumors would
Clayface.
definitely be based off whatever was now. And again, that would be a rumor if they're. That could be a rumor of he has a script, he turns it in for whatever reason they say no, or he says no, I want another crack at it. But like I would assume, yeah, the original script had Joker as a Hannibal Lecter type character, which again, the first one he already did, but he cut it out, so it's kind of like a rinse and repeat. And I think all of us were in the camp of we should have kept that scene. Even though I don't know if Dylan, if you ever watched that deleted scene, did you? It's like a 10-minute scene with Joker, and it's Batman asking him about, like, he's showing him stuff about the Riddler, and he is Hannibal Lecter, where he's just giving him information.
Is that like in the prison that they're doing that? Or?
Yes, but it's in an interrogation room specifically, and it's kind of shot cool because you never see Joker's full face. You just see like an eye, you see a mouth, like you don't get a full image of him. But they did that, but he cut it because he just felt like he was kind of repeating some stuff Riddler had said. So.
It would make sense that would have been like the first, I guess, script that they had, considering they already had that scene, and like they would
just change a few things.
Had some seeds to build upon. It's funny how you made the comparison of Hannibal Lecter on that Joker role, because what you just pitched, it just sounds like Silence of the Lambs. Actually, like you have Buffalo Bill like wearing people's skin.
Oh
like,
shit, you're right. I didn't even
just,
think
like,
about
super,
that.
Super similar. So hopefully
That's why they're like, change it. You're just ripping off Silence of the Lambs, dude.
It sounds a little bit too close to
I
that.
didn't even think about Buffalo Bill. You've dumbfounded me. Yeah, you can't do that. That's just because like everybody who already gives some shit of like, well, this is already 7, but the Batman, everyone's gonna say that about this. So Silence of the Lambs, the Batman, which I guess I'm fine with, but I didn't even think about Bill. Yeah, good
He's just
catch
a major
there.
plagiarist this whole time. Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I guess I was gonna mention the delay. I worked
Good.
from the back and then going right to the front here. With the delay, the only one that makes sense to me would be if they had like a major revision on the script that they had. Like it doesn't make sense to me that they wouldn't have had like a completed script by this point. Even with the strike going on, if they would have started, like we already mentioned the time frame there. Like if they announced it a month after the first movie, they would have been working on something.
And he
or
said
had
he
some
was
sort of
working on
idea
it.
before that point.
Yeah.
So I would imagine maybe they had some disagreements with that initial script. If
That's
it
what I
was just
wonder,
the Silence
yeah.
of the Lambs situation, just start to finish that whole movie. That would make sense that they'd revert it, and then. But like even if they had some revisions there, I feel like it would have to be super major, or maybe some major just discourse amongst like creative visions to get to that. Like it is a very major delay considering how long it's been since that movie has already been out, and if we're looking at late 2026, that's pretty wild.
October.
I was really looking forward for next year of finally getting to see this, so big bummer there. I was agreeing with a lot with what you guys were already kind of mentioning.
Good.
On the
We like
weeds in
that.
between. I don't want to rehash all that stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I pretty much said what I need to. It's a bummer. It's my most anticipated movie, so of course I'm bummed about that. But like, I'm hoping it's just we want to get this right, and that's it. Nothing more else in between. I hope it's just, hey, we want to go back to drawing board. Could even be like, hey, if he wrote a script and then during the strike, my positive thinking, I'm trying to be like, he had an idea and he's like, actually, I want to tackle it from this route, right? Like maybe maybe it was someone told him, hey, that's like Silence of the Lambs. And it's like, oh, because I've done that before when it's like you're thinking of an idea and you're like, oh fuck, that's that movie. Never mind, I can't do that. And like. So that's what I'm just going to try and be positive and hope for the best. But like, as I said before, if this movie dies, if we don't get the trilogy, I will review them because I do this podcast and it's a small business and it's my job. I still love doing this, but I will be very against the DCU and its existence. If James Gunn takes a new connected universe is not worth what we got to throw away all this, and that's the sight unseen too, right? So that let's say there is a scenario where the Batman 2 goes away. I just have to hope that Superman is good and Creature Commandos and Supergirl and this other Batman, which I like Andy Muschietti, but I I don't think he's the quality, and I don't even think Gunn is the quality of a Matt Reeves filmmaker. I think Matt Reeves is a different level than them. So it's like, it just feels like it's what happened with Nolan, but it's reverse, where Nolan was making Batman and they try to make a Justice League, and he's like, yeah, I don't want you doing that. And like, yeah, we're going to stick with Nolan after The Dark Knight came out. It's like, yeah, $1 billion film. So it's just like, I get it, because connected universes, I guess, are the thing. Are they? I don't know. We'll see. Like, I feel like it's kind of going away now, but I get the pretty pony of, oh, we could have what Marvel had 10 years ago. But the Batman's also a sure thing, because I feel like, like money wise, you got people like Dylan who, you're not a big Batman fan, you enjoy that film. Like, it's something very different in the comic book genre, when right now the comic book genre, that's exactly what it needs. We've seen all these films that aren't eat shit. Marvels, Blue Beetle, Shazam, Aquaman. Like, we've seen so many of that formula, where the Batman to me isn't that. I don't think it's everybody's cup of tea, of course, because it's slower and it's a bit almost R-rated, but it is like, that's a sure thing. And I that's what I hope. I hope that we get some interviews soon. I hope we get some casting, because if we don't get anyone cast other than just the people coming back, that's another sign of worrisome, right? Because that was the thing for me. It's like, they're supposed to shoot in the summer and we have no new actors for, like, whether it's Clayface or Hush, whatever these characters are. Like, what is happening? And like I said, maybe it just takes one interview from Matt Reeves to clear it all up. That would who I would need to hear it from, though, is Matt Reeves. And that doesn't mean everything, but
I do hope that we still get Clayface, though, in the next one. I really don't know anything about that character other than what I've seen from the Harley Quinn show, and that's like a very comedic role that he
won't be
has
that one,
there.
I don't think. Yeah.
So just take that character and the potential that character has in the Matt Reeves universe, I think, is super exciting. Even if it is that initial script that's very Buffalo Billy.
It very much is, yeah. And hey, that could even be a thing too, where it's like, we can't get this to a PG-13 rating. Like, it could be something as simple as that, and there could be a situation where Matt Reeves maybe goes like, you got to remember, this was a guy that, if you go back and look, he was they were close, and he walked out on Warner Brothers because they couldn't come to terms on something. So it's not like the first time he's like stuck up for himself. So there could even be a situation where they're just like, sorry, Matt, like, we can't get this script to a PG-13 like wide audience, and maybe he's like, oh, whatever, well, that's what's gonna happen. And maybe they figured it out now, and that's why there's the delay. But there could be, and again, it literally just could be, hey, we feel we got a better version of the script, let us write it, there's not enough time. And I will bring up too that IATSE, Mike brought up, they're negotiating right now. IATSE is the organization that's everybody, grips, lighting, camera crew, like everybody that's not directors, writers, actors. They're negotiating right now, and there legitimately could be another strike in a month or two. And if there's a strike, Hollywood just shut down again. It's the same thing as, like, there'll be no movies being made, nothing, because you need people to fucking hold the lights. You need people to like set up the set. Like, there's not gonna be people to build the sets and everything. So that's where it's like, that could be something too, where maybe there's something that Warner Brothers and company feel like, you know what, that's probably going to go to a strike. And why even get ahead of the game almost? Like, let's announce this far out, because if it shuts down again, Matt Reeves can write, but he can write fucking Batman 2, 3, and 4, but he can't go out and film it. So, yeah, please no strike. Let's pay the people what they need, give them good hours, stuff. And I hope that somewhere in the universe, when Terry talks about all these worlds, I hope this is a world where Matt Reeves somehow pulls off like, hey, could I film part 2 and 3 together? And then it's just done. Because that's what I would really like, because then I'd have more faith we'd get both of these. Because I think we're going to get 2. 3 is what I always worry about. Because I'm always fucking worried if Legacy and all these DC gun movies do really well. And then he's like, well, do we need stuff that's not in the universe? You know, like, do we, but who knows? So we will see. Taylor Field, I just going to prompt you just because I'm not sure. Did you do a chat GPT for X-Men 97?
Oh, I forgot, but I can whip it out.
Okay, you whip it up right now, so I'll kill you sometime. But I'll see that to the end. But yeah, so we'll keep you updated. We'll see what happens with the Batman. But right now, we're going to talk about some X-Men, because X-Men is back next week. We're not going to talk much about the news that did come out today. We'll see what happens. The showrunner who did this and season 2 was fired today from Marvel. They weren't parting ways. They were fired. He also worked on Moon Knight and worked on Blade. All social media is gone and missing, so I don't think that's a good sign of something that's probably going to come out about him. But that did happen. He's not allowed to have any premieres come up or anything, so it's like it's a bad situation. Just go read Hollywood Reporter, but no one knows what the situation is. There's a rumor going around there that he has an OnlyFans. if that's the case, that's a dumb scenario because you also have the Star of Thunderbolts on the red carpet just completely like, nude. And I think it's equality. Have it for everybody. But at the same time, if you're signing contracts and they say don't do OnlyFans, you don't do OnlyFans, people. It's pretty easy, And I don't know if that's the case,
his
but
lawyer, he's like, can we like just keep that in there?
yeah,
Like, it's
no,
kind of a make or break for me. Yeah.
yeah. So we'll see as that develops. But Dilmus, where are you on the excitement level? We're literally, not literally, a week and a day away. We're very close. We're getting 2 episodes next week. Both of them are about 28 minutes, almost close to an hour of X-Men goodness. So, where are you? As the cheap plug before, if you're really excited and you're watching through the series, we reviewed every single episode. They're all in the feed. I'd recommend going to the review feed because that's the smaller one. They're all there. But we did a whole build up to this. We're doing the Season of X. Last week we did a side quest episode. We got some Patreon exclusives. But where are you for 97 right now?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this a few weeks ago and judging our hype level, and I don't think it's changed a whole lot, but I think what brought me up even higher is the runtime of these episodes being a little bit longer than what we're used to from that animated show back in the day. I guess that could include like credits and stuff, but even then, like the credits are not going to be 10 minutes long like they are in like a She-Hulk or another MCU type TV show, I hope.
Yeah.
So either way, it sounds like we're getting like a little bit more per episode in terms of length, and I think that's really great. I'm excited for that. But other than that, like there isn't really much that's changed my hype level. I'm still very excited for it, but for some reason, whatever it is, I'm not at like a 10 out of 10 hype level. But it's the Season X, so I'm down. I can't wait for this show. It's gonna be a fun month and a half, 2 months, I guess. Pretty much.
Yeah, 10 episodes. Well, I guess 9 weeks because we got the one.
Yeah.
So 9 weeks. So yeah, 2 months and a week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm pretty much exactly where you are because for me, my hype, which would sound weird to be a 10 out of 10, would be after episode 1 and 2 because I want to see that. Once I get those, then I might be like, okay, the rest of the season, I'm up there. I think I'm based in 8, nostalgia in 9. So if I'm taking nostalgia, I think it's like a full point where it's just like, okay, you're up there because I'm just very excited. But there's stuff like I said before, the animation, some of the voices. I'm like, okay, how's this gonna go? So I don't put it past for me to get past episode 1 and 2, be like, oh, like it, some of the magic's not there. But also not every episode of the X-Men animated series is a banger. But I would hope that the first 2 episodes at least like are strong. Again, I'm fine if there's just like a episode where they play basketball together and it's just a fun episode, right? Yeah. But like the first 2 should be, okay, we're really cooking with fire here, or cooking with oil, not fire. Can you cook with fire? Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can.
You need fire.
Throw some hot dogs on there.
Definitely cooked over fire before.
That's true. That's the most alien response again. I've definitely used fire to cook food. Yeah, jeez Louise. Yeah. What about you, Kirkland?
I would say like 8.5. I think hype level right now out of 10. When like rewatched the trailer for the season again. It just totally got the juices flowing. I watched that over the weekend, and it's got the magic. I definitely agree with you. I think they need to really knock it out of the park like early on, not wait for like episode 5 for a banger. Like I think the first episode should not necessarily be like a 10 out of 10 episode, but like it's got to be a certified thumbs up.
That's fair. Like, so you're fine with just a 1 thumb?
It's got to be a strong thumb, like close to a 1.5 thumbs. But yeah, I think it's got to be nice and firm, fully erect thumb. I don't know. I don't want to be deflated early on in the season.
Yeah.
I've been watching too many shows lately that just don't really deliver. So I need something.
Give me one. What did you just watch recently that was like meh?
Halo, Last Airbender. It was good enough. But
you're all over the
what?
Yeah, you're all over the place.
The more I stew on it, the more especially like Shane, I've been watching like the animated again. It's just like, man, maybe I gave it too high of a score, but I was pretty mid on it. I was like 7 out of 10, I think.
It was just because I thought that I'm like, oh, you're like, no, I liked it, and because this is how I knew he was lying though, because he's like, I liked it like Ring of Powers, and Ring of Power was the same thing where you were like,
it was the same thing,
oh, this fucking show, but I was like, oh, like I don't know, it's I think there's enough.
It's good enough, but like I think even Rings of Power was that like 7 out of 10. Like just the more I think about it, the more issues I have with some of the things that they chose to leave out there. But I don't know, it looked pretty. At least the CGI was good, but that's also the same thing with Halo. Like Halo's got some fantastic CGI, but that's a slog to get through. I feel like we're on episode 47 this week of this season.
I know.
What episode is it?
Penultimate? Like, how is that show not fucking done yet? Like,
penultimate, yeah.
How do I have more weeks?
Check out the
Getting
Halo
angry
reviews.
just thinking about it.
The reviews are fun. Please don't take my
They are good reviews.
my apathy as
What-
disinterest.
Taylor, you track that. I know it's like mini off topic, but like, do you see, because it's on streaming, is that considered a successful show? Like, do you see people talking about numbers or like?
I haven't looked at the actual numbers, but the reception, unless they're paying for bots, the reception seems more positive from the
Let me see if I can find
non-believers
some
than
numbers here.
the actual fan base.
I was just wondering your odds on a season 3. That's what I was wondering.
I think that's getting a season.
Oh,
3.
it's getting
I really
one.
do.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be there.
Airbenders getting 3 seasons. All right, 2 and 3.
Yeah, 2 more.
When's Rings of Power coming out? They're filming. They were filming during the strike. Remember, that's got to be coming this year, right?
June is the release,
Nope.
I believe.
You
Wasn't
just
it?
made that up on the spot.
You sure?
I hope not, because we got
That's what I
Acolyte,
think.
House of Dragon, and The Boys. So if we got also Rings of Power, you got 4 shows in a month. I'm gonna quit. No, I think there's just rumors right now.
Okay, yeah, rumors.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's
Stay
rumored
tuned.
for the summer. Yeah. So hopefully, last time it dropped in August. So I think that's a good date for it again, after House of Dragon. Because remember, there was like a week or 2 overlay of House of Dragon and Rings of Powers, but then it was kind of a handoff. So they should do that again. Where House of Dragons June, July, Lord of the Rings August, September.
Yeah.
Taylor or Kirkland or fuck me, Dylan. Any data over there? I see you crunching numbers.
All the articles I'm seeing are just talking about the Rotten Tomatoes score is soaring into the skies. 94 Rotten Tomatoes. Apparently, it reviewed really well. I don't know.
He
if
does
the numbers
94.
dropped.
What's going on over here?
That's what these articles are saying. I didn't actually see where it's updated at.
It's not for the game, is it?
And how does that work? Like, you review. Are those reviewers like? Have they seen the whole show, or would that be like?
No. Well,
They might just have 2 or 3 episodes in there.
that's usually what happens. So the TV review system kind of sucks. You can go back and keep reviewing it, but usually it's based off the first 3 or whatever screeners you got. So,
Yeah.
oh, did I also another off topic because I'm on Rotten Tomatoes? Is anyone gonna be reviewing The Monkey Man with me, or is that what is that? Am I alone
I
there?
could be down for that.
Okay, because so South by
There's also supposed to look into
Southwest.
Fall Guy, right?
Well, that's what I'm asking because last night Monkey Man screened and tonight Fall Guy screened, and Fall Guy's getting fucking rave reviews, and Monkey Man did too. They're both being hailed as like really good, like very, very crowd pleasing moments. So, yeah, okay.
Did you find
Stay
an answer
tuned.
for Halo there?
Me?
Weren't you looking that up?
Yeah, it is 94%. You're right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
What
wild.
that means for viewership, who knows?
Only 17 reviews though too, so it's like that's not many.
Yeah, that's true. We have more reviews for GeekVerse, that's the
Yeah,
Halo
we
show.
do.
Should have
Yeah.
hundreds.
94%.
Taylor, as a man who
Man,
As a man.
as a
I
man
would
who's
call
been
that.
converted
Man.
to, at one point you had wanted nothing to do with X-Men content. You'd be skipping the movie reviews, but here you are. You've seen the whole series. You got a shirt. Where are you for your excitement for the X-Men?
I'm a born again X-Men.
Well, no, I think no. That's why I
Like the
say.
Phoenix rose from the ashes.
That's why I said
and now he's a
converted
certified
because
X-Men fan.
born again was like.
Converted.
Well, yeah, because born again would be you were once.
Daredevil.
Yeah, that too. But it's
You
like I
ushered
was.
in a new era.
No, let's circle back to born again would be like you used to be Christian, you're no longer Christian, then you're a Christian again. You were never like an X-Men fan, so it's like this is like a first time for you.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I've been converted. This hype train of X-Men right now is it's wonderful. It's truly wonderful. But if I'm to circle back to what your question was, we're talking about how the guy got kicked from the program, right?
Oh, okay.
He worked on Moon Knight. He's
What?
We're really circling
I
back.
did not think we were circling back to that. That is back.
I go too far.
You can talk about it, but when you said circle back kick from the program, I thought you were talking about like Wolverine and Weapon X or something. Like we're not reviewing any of the episodes.
It was like I really want to speculate on why this guy got fired. Let's make up a
The floor is yours, Taylor. Tell us, why is his social media gone?
His social media is gone. That's-
Yeah, all social media is gone. Legit.
I mean, usually if you do something really, really bad, then that's the kind of thing that happens. Or you've been bullied so bad, which happens to celebrities, that they just shut their whole social media down.
I don't
so
think
it's
that
one of the
happened
two.
to
No, I don't think that happened.
no one
then-
knew about it. And then he was involved.
no,
Then
no,
he's
no,
done
no one can
something.
name him. Yeah.
He's done something. Or, maybe Disney's just trying to erase him from all existence. I mean,
He's been excommunicado from fucking everything. He no longer exists.
They should have then John Wick when he got excommunicado and he tries to go on his Twitter. He's like, "Oh, I can't get on."
They shredded his birth certificate. And
Yeah.
him off to
They
the
gave my
random-
handle to someone else. But Taylor, why did you circle back? Like, what was the point you wanted to make? You just made that he could do something.
To
He
be
did
honest,
something bad.
I do not remember what your initial question was when you brought it to me.
Are you
I was trying to
excited?
I was
Are
trying to
you
get the ChatGPT prompt.
Are you excited for X-Men?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Which you already answered, I think.
Okay.
Okay,
Already
good.
get
Then I'm
it.
great. I'm
Let's
locked
get
in.
It, and then he circled way back to the other guy.
Let's get into
Let's
predictions.
talk about the Batman for a few minutes here. Matt Reeves, is he fine?
He's white from all social media, Matt Reeves. Okay. Charles Xavier, a good friend who almost died but didn't went to Alondra. Will we see him in the season? And if so, when? Taylor, let me redeem yourself. What do you think we're going to see with Mr. Xavier, the man who thinks Storm's the most beautiful being in the universe?
My beautiful storm. Penultimate episode. We'll see him
In what?
in the
Oh,
penultimate
penultimate.
episode.
Okay. He said the ultimate episode. I don't know what that is.
ultimate
Why not?
episode.
Why not in episode 10?
The finale.
You just wanted to say penultimate, didn't you?
Yeah, he took
I
it
just
from
want to say penultimate, but no, I genuinely think that we'll. I mean, I don't feel like unless it's like an hour long or it's like an extended segment, I don't feel like we'll be able to really enjoy having enough time with him in that finale. I just feel like they'll maybe the back half of the ending of that semi-final episode, they'll pop him in and everyone will be like, "Oh my God, tune in next week to see Xavier just fucking go to town." So.
Could that not be what they do for the season finale, though? Because isn't that a good cliffhanger for, like what Dylan said? Like, you end it, and then season 2, you don't get to find out about what Xavier's going on. He'd be like, "I didn't leave you my will, Eric," and then, boom, season 2.
True. I guess they could do that, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's the. I don't know. I don't feel like it's necessarily the X-Men route. I mean, the X-Men route, they usually ended like a big villain kind of thing or something
Yeah.
like that.
New era, though, right? They already got season 2
Yeah,
planned.
New Era.
So.
They're ushering it in.
I'm finale. They are. This is true. They are ushering a new era. I'm a finale guy. I think he's coming last episode. It'll be a cliffhanger. They'll beat Sinister and the whole gang. There'll be some stuff. They'll be at a low. Maybe someone dies, which we'll talk about, and then Xavier shows up in my X-Men, and then boom.
That's good. I think I agree with that. Maybe the little bit I'll add on is I think we'll get some glimpses throughout the season. Maybe not like a through line narrative, but just like a couple points where maybe Jean is having some sort of telekinetic interference thing. Like she
Oh.
gets a message from him or something weird's going on. And maybe at the time we don't even know it's Xavier. Maybe we could speculate on it because we talk for an hour about these episodes that are not even that long. But something like that will later maybe be connected to him. But yeah, I don't think we'll physically see his face and that big bald head of his until the very final episode. I think that works perfectly. I hope the episode he's actually in it in a meaningful way and it's not like some post-credit like just cliffhanger thing. I hope he's actually in it for like at least half the episode. But you know, one difference here is like we know like we have all the episode titles at this point, right? We only have one 2-parter. Is that or no, wait, is the finale
The finale, the 3-parter,
finale is a 3-parter.
the triple threat.
I don't know why I thought it wasn't. Okay, so maybe that changes things. Like maybe he could be relevant in. There you go. I'll go a different route. I'll say he's a part of this ending trilogy finale here.
Okay.
So
So
maybe
maybe
not
episode 6 he shows up to set up the trio. You know, like right before the 3-parter. Wait, not sorry, 8,
I'm
9,
gonna say
10.
no. I'm
so
gonna say
7.
7. I'm gonna go. I guess episode 8 then. 8,
Okay,
9,
so
10.
start of the 3-parter.
Yeah, not quite
Okay.
penultimate though. Don't get me wrong here. I'm
Yeah.
going episode 8. 8 will get a cliffhanger. 9 will get him in there. 10 will get him in there.
He dies again.
And then he dies. He's gone. He says his goodbye to
you're so
Storm one more
beautiful.
time. Yeah.
And Storm just cooks him this time. It's been 5 years, Charles. All right, Kirkland, we got lots of varying opinions. Where are you?
I think we'll see his face actually in the very first episode. I don't think he'll be there, but it'll be like a memory, and then they have the floating head or
Sure,
something.
okay.
It's like I remember him.
Like the trailer. kind of.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that'll happen. I agree with what Dylan was saying that we might be getting like hints or glimpses throughout the season. Just because like that is a big departure. Obviously the X-Men, like Xavier, he's the main man, X. and to just not
The main man, X. Yeah, there he is.
to just not have him like mentioned, or like the loss of him. Like I feel like that would be a big missteps. So I am expecting just that weight of his departure to really weigh heavily on our characters throughout. But for like actually being a part of it, not just like a memory or something. I don't know. I'm just gonna say like episode 5. Like I'm gonna say like halfway through. I think it's a really bold play to.
I'm not
to just,
coming back.
I think it's a really bold play to just get rid of Xavier going into 97. They don't have him in any of the marketing, but I don't think they're that brave. I think they're gonna bring him back pretty early on, actually. But might be wrong. But yeah.
All right. So, in speaking in some of that, do you guys think anyone is going to die in this season?
It's boring, but no one's dying.
No. I guess I'll mean of our X-Men, of course. That's what I mean.
I mean of absolutely anyone. I think at most you'd get like a flashback for some character's origin story where their mom falls off a cliff or something, and that's why they're a villain, something like that. But anyone, like even what was it, season 4, Sabretooth falls off a cliff, and it's like anyone would die from that. But then he just like pops up in season 5, and there's no discussion of how he survived it whatsoever. Like no one really dies in these shows. Sinister can get incinerated, and he'll just turn into a sand monster for a bit, and then he comes back a few episodes later. So I don't think anyone's dying.
Okay. Kirk?
No deaths. I agree with Dylan. Deaths. I think I don't think it's something that could never happen, especially even for our main roster. But season 1, it's not like they're bringing in a bunch of new characters as well. Like there is a couple faces included, but I don't know. I just think that again, like it's going back to my statement that they're bold, or they want to be bold, but they're not that bold. They're a little bit still a kid show by the end, at the end of the day. So I'm gonna agreeance with Dylan on this one.
Taylor,
any deaths? Morph gonna bite it again?
No, I don't think they're gonna kill anyone. I feel like they want to bring people in. They don't want to scare people away. No Game of Thrones stuff.
Okay, so I'm in agreement. I don't think anyone would die. If someone does die, I think it would be Magneto to fully show that he is a good guy, and he'd make the sacrifice play in like episode 10. Because I don't think you need him after if he's like the leader of X-Men for a while, but I don't think so. So then what I'll ask you guys this, who could get the fake death where, okay, maybe they're not dead, they come back, but who do you think would maybe be the like, they appear to be dead, and whether it's later on in the season they come back, or if it's next season, like that sort of way where we all know they're not dead, but who would be a good cliffhanger of like, oh shit, like looking bad for Cyclops,
I think my pick would be Gambit.
Oh no.
Because
Mon chéri.
he's a complicated character in the sense that like he has shown not definitely not disloyalty. That's definitely the wrong name, but just maybe not like the most diehard loyalness towards the X-Men. Like he's kind of been in his own category, the Venn diagram, at stages throughout the show. Now I think by the end of it, like he really is the X-Men. Like he's really close to our heroes. Maybe the second last season that's shown a lot better than what the last season was of 92, but I think he's a character that people like, especially us, but just general viewers, they do really like his style. They like, he's a likable character, but he's not like the main face of it. And I think he has enough ingredients there to like really be a heartfelt loss. And then if he came back up, obviously we have a lot of characters that could be missing him on screen. So if he comes back, that would just be a really exciting comeuppance if he came back, if he was resurrected, whatever they might do for the script. But yeah, like because it's one that I think I could maybe palate eventually that he did die. Like it's not like I'm losing Logan or something. Like certain characters I just feel like are completely immortal and will never be wiped out from X-Men. But who knows? Maybe they are a lot bolder than what I'm predicting.
I'll go.
I'm good.
Oh, I'll go with Beast.
That's who I was going to. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think Beast?
He's just, I don't know what he's, I feel like everybody, always Gamma Rototide, Wolverine's doing his thing, Cyclops Jean having a baby, Jubilee's going to have this supposed maybe new romance or budding friendship, Morph has a new identity in a sense. So I feel like everyone we've heard, like Magneto's leader, and Storm and Cyclops are going back on who is going to lead the X-Men. I feel like we've all heard little like, oh, this guy's doing this person's doing this, but I've heard nothing about Beast, and I just feel like Beast could be just hanging out, so he could actually even be a good real death, to be honest, if everyone's going, but he could be a good fake out death, and maybe he's captured again and whatnot. But yeah, I think we just haven't heard much about like what's he up to, like what's his story now, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's good. I also think that maybe pulls on the heartstrings of the viewers more than some other people who, like, I don't know, I guess some normies might not know as much about Beast as just one of those ubiquitous characters. I also think he kind of has like grandfather energy, right? He's like old and wise, and like he says weird things, and it's like it's kind of weird what he says, but you kind of just go along with it. So I feel like he kind of has that energy to him. And then I also feel like if he's someone who dies in the context of like maybe saving some people, like human people, like non-mutants, that could be a big thing where you see his poster up on the wall, or you know, some big homage to him, and it's like much more meaningful because he's very clearly a mutant and he stands for that, whereas some other people might just like rogue, that's just like a person, you know, like I don't know, what are the normal people going to care about that? But maybe it has a bit more meaning to it. I don't know.
They renamed the school, and when Xavier gets back, he's like, "What is this? The school Beasts? Hank McCoy's
B-Men.
yeah. Hank McCoy's School for the Gifted? I didn't even die." Yeah. Tay, what about you? Any fake out one of the, you know, dead but not dead?
I feel like out of all the characters that we've seen and the tribulations they really go through, Scott's been through so much, Jean's been through so much. I mean, Wolverine even's been through so much. I feel like a little bit of backstory on Gambit. I feel like we could see, you know, I feel like we could see a Gambit actually having that fake out. If not Gambit,
it's not in my cards.
I'd agree with Beast, to be honest.
Okay, so we're almost in agreement. It's Gambit or Beast. So let's take an ad break, and then we're going to talk about maybe the newest member of the X-Men and what's in store for them. So we'll be right back. And we're back. When I'm speaking of newest, I'm not talking about Sunspot. I'm not talking about, we've heard these rumors of Cable, Morph was already on the team, but Cable, Bishop, Sunspot, or Sunfire, whatever the fuck his name is. We've heard all, Magneto even. What do you guys think? And Tim, I'm going to start with you. What do you think is going to come to the storyline of Scott and Jean's baby?
Ooh. What's going to become of that, eh?
Mm-hmm. Just gonna be happy they have the baby. There's gonna be some turbulence. They can lose the baby. I don't think that's gonna happen in the Disney Plus kids show.
Black Manta just comes in, murders the child.
Could you imagine that? The 3-parters like about Scott avenging the death of his child. Everyone's like, man. Kirkland's like, I didn't think they were bold, but
yeah.
I mean, does the baby come out looking like Logan?
Mr. Sinister. It looks like Mr. Sinister.
Looking like Mr. Sinister.
I love the Logan comes out with claws and just like that'd be the perfect
super hairy.
Perfect season finale, and just Scott holding this hairy baby, Jean, and then to be continued. Man,
Wow.
that would be
That'd be bold.
Amazing. I would be like, man, the MCU could never top that moment.
If they don't do it here, make it a what if episode.
Absolutely.
I gotta see that reality.
Yeah, but I don't actually know. I don't know if it's going to be anything bad. I think that as far as I'm concerned, it'll be something maybe they'll be happy. I don't think it's going to be anything like life threatening to the baby or anything like that. It'll probably be them just trying to navigate their lives as parents while the kids at the X Mansion.
Terrible place to grow up.
Yeah, I don't know who. I mean, unless we do get the Mr. Sinister arc, and Mr. Sinister's trying to like worm his way in there, and
well, he's confirmed for the show. He's a villain.
Confirmed?
I think he's like going to be the main villain. I think he's
well, then,
got a big comeback story.
Then we'll definitely get an arc in there too, then for sure of him trying to get the baby. But I don't think the baby's not going to die. Nothing life-threatening is going to happen. It'll be
never kill a baby.
Equal to when they were going on their honeymoon and they were going to the island, and it was just chaos for like 2 episodes, and then things resumed course after that. So I think that's what we'll get.
Mm-hmm.
With the baby, my worry is that it'll take away like maybe some Jean time from screen. Like I my worry is that it'll just become something that ties certain characters back, so that they're not really like a part of the team too much. I think the baby will be appearing throughout the season for sure. I don't think there'll be anything like, it's tough for me to predict something relevant story wise unless there's like time jumps where the like it's more than a baby. I think it'll be like somewhat a variable, but not necessarily the main variable of the season. But who knows? Maybe that'll be like a big finale type thing that like someone is after the child. It's obviously very like it's an important variable to have, and obviously villains like to like to get something that would put our heroes in jeopardy or vulnerable. And so yeah, I don't think anything too major unless it's like finale related. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Dylan?
Let's see. How about this? How about Mr. Sinister? We've seen this scene before where he captures Jean and Cyclops and he's sucking their plasma and all this stuff.
He's milking them.
He's milking them, yeah, for all they're worth. But then they eventually break free and it's like, it's all good. They defeat him. He turns to dust and he comes back later, does it all over again. But what if that's the twist here? Is the same classic thing? That's the storyline of an episode. Is he captures them, both of them, or maybe them at different points in the season even. Captures them once again, sucking their blood, sucking their plasma, whatever he can get. Them.
Summer jeans.
Yeah, just whatever he can get out of them.
Yeah.
But then it seems fine. The X-Men, save the day. They save them. Baby's intact. Baby's good. All that stuff. But then it turns out later on that he got enough of that juice, and he was able to create his own super baby. And there's like an evil version of their baby out there. And of course, it's like a weird-ass clone baby, so he can accelerate growth on it so it can become an adult or a teenager or whatever and fight back against them and just get in their heads in a big way. That's my theory.
Man,
I don't know what the character's name would be. I'm sure that character exists in the comics that you could pull in, but I don't have that knowledge, unfortunately.
If that happens, I don't know if Cyclops can be consolable. He's going to be like...
Look at me! Oh, no! Jesus Christ!
It's going to be really bad.
Is he the one jumping?
No, he's the one saying Jesus Christ. I don't know what's happening, but he's having a tough go. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good storyline. That's what I think. What else?
You know too much.
I know too. I think that the thing is
with
the
been
Summers...
spoiled on this show?
No, I've just...
Okay.
I've been spoiled since the 90s, but the thing is with Summer's Kids, there's many routes they could go. So it's just that I think there's a reason Jean, the baby, are not much in the trailer, because even if they don't go certain routes, it's making people like myself think like, oh, they're gonna do something funky here. So that's the thing. So I don't know how funky they're gonna go, but comic movies do that all the time, right? Could be like a Hulk at the end of Infinity War running in the field and nothing came of it, right? It was a fake scene. So maybe the baby's fake. I don't know. Maybe they just started off.
In a field? What are you talking about?
Remember Infinity War? The end trailer was Hulk running at Thanos, but that was never in the Infinity War at all. Yeah, it was a fake thing. Yeah, it's a lineup of like Bucky, ScarJo, Black Panther, Hulk, and they're all running down a field. But it was like those people were already snapped. So it was just to mess with us. What was I gonna say here? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I had. Yeah, I did, but I had one that I didn't write down. But no. What do we think the status of Gambit and Rogue is? Are they actually going steady now? Do we think that it's gonna be like the old school show where it's just back and forth, or are they just friends? I feel like for me, unfortunately, they're just going to be friends, and there's going to be like very rarely flirting, because they're going to look at the old stuff and be like, oh, Gambit can't do that stuff. Now, granted, there's some stuff, yes, he can't do, but I feel like if you rip him of the flirting nature and the back and forth of Rogue, that would hurt. So I think they're going to be friends, or they might just be going steady, but I feel like it's going to be a very not spicy relationship, in my opinion.
I think at most you're going to get a little bit of flirting, but I don't think it'll be... I don't think a big part of it, because we got Jubilee and her stuff. We got Jean and Cyclops doing their stuff. So I don't know if you really need it in the main squad there. So I think you'll just get some funny little moments. But for the most part, they're going to maybe have their own narratives this season.
Mm-hmm.
I think you do need it. I don't think it's going to be in there, but I think I need it at least.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to predict it's going to be slightly toned down from that original show, but hopefully there still is just that good will they won't they type dynamic. Because it's fun to watch. It's a fun dynamic. It's different than like some of the established relationships that you'd already listed off right there, Dylan. So I think it's fun. I'm a little bit worried that it will be just what Travis predicted, and they're just friends, and that's nothing there. If it does happen there, I hope they at least have a couple comments about that dynamic of being like the will they won't they. But I can also see that world where it's just that's not in the script, so we're just not even really gonna touch upon it.
I guess see that world is going to become a new GeekVerse meme, so get ready for that. But
Circle back to that world.
yeah, circle back to that world. But the only thing is, I hope if they're not flirty and they are just friends, I hope they make some sort of comment, even if they just say like he was too much of a player. Like I hope they just address it in a line or two, and then like, okay, that's why they're not together anymore, you know? So I hope it's something. I hope same thing of like there's still some dating on the show than Cyclops and Jean. Like, I know maybe that's stuff about Jubilee, but I'd like to see, we got those hints of the future of fucking Wolverine and Storm being married. Like let's get let's get some more hints of that. Like maybe they start being attracted one another. Like, oh, I never thought about this. So
Dazzler comes back, starts putting a wedge between Scott and Jean.
and her alien old boyfriend, whatever the fuck his name was. Look what you did to me. I'm a freak.
I hope he comes back.
Yeah. Taylor, relationship status of Gambit and Rogue. Maybe she's pregnant as well.
Yeah, maybe.
How did that happen?
Science.
I mean, if she was pregnant, would she be able to have a kid? Would she be able to even be pregnant? I mean, if she touches anyone living, right?
That's
Oh,
tough.
wow.
What if it's
I think-
made from her?
That's a dark statement.
You know?
That is I think I would guess in the womb you're fine, but yeah, when you're
I imagine
like,
she's just sterile. I think that would be my prediction.
man, that is like I don't know if anyone's done that, but you talk about how like even with men, when a baby's born, skin to skin's so important. Imagine if you could do a story where Rogue was pregnant, had the child, but she didn't even have skin to skin with her own child for the fear of like killing it.
Yeah.
That's a fucking like great story right there. Taylor, you
can
got some
Rogue-
cooking there.
If you touch Rogue's hair, do you get messed up?
What are you getting at, Dylan?
You want to touch that hair?
I'm wondering,
Pull it,
like,
Daddy.
Where's the line of like her
No.
power activating and not?
I think it's
She's
skin
got
to
big
skin. to
hair,
me.
so I feel like she has a lot of like random hairs going all
Yeah.
over the place
True,
too. That's
she probably
dangerous.
wears-
That would suck. You just lie down. Oh, Jesus Christ, Rogue.
Use my brush again.
Yeah. 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 What about what?
You said Jesus Christ. It just reminded me of the fucking Inception video.
Yeah, of course.
Christ, Rogue, no.
Stop leaving your hair everywhere. We gotta deal with beasts. We gotta do this. At least Xavier's bald. I'm stealing this one from Marvel Alliance, our great other Canadian brother, Travis Hines. He asked this as a fact or fiction, but I want to get your guys' opinion. Will we see any other Marvel heroes? Because we got that in the show, right, where there'd be like flashes of them and everything. We did get that one newspaper of Spider-Man, which would be like, that's my dream pick, to get 97 Spider-Man, and let's get that revival going. We need that, but I'm in the yes category. I feel like they kind of have to do it. I hope they're not like, oh well, because the MCU's a thing, we don't want to touch anybody. It's like, this is a different universe. If you just show a shot of whatever hero, like we've had Strange and Iron Man and Thor and Spider-Man, even if it's just that. So I'm gonna say yes, and honestly, if it's not in there, that would be a big disappointment for this season because it's just like a fun Easter egg. So I think they'll do at least one, not as a big character, but at least alluding to like they would before. I'd love if there was a like maybe be better, but that episode of Wolverine Cap, I'd love it if we didn't know about a secret hero in there and they just popped up. Like that'd be cool. Like even if it was Spider-Man, right? Like, if Spider-Man was in one of the full episodes, that'd be awesome. Maybe that's that weird two-parter one that's in the middle of an episode. So
I'm with you on Spider-Man. That would be my pick. I think it will happen because of the newspaper there. If it isn't Spider-Man, I think it's definitely at least one or two other characters, and not necessarily like big part of the story, but how we had seen them in previous seasons of maybe just popping up here or there. Deadpool would be like another prediction I've seen. It's interesting because like I feel like he's so much more relevant than where he would have been like in the 90s. Obviously, like the big movie coming out this year.
fair, yeah.
So it would be tough to just have him like in there randomly. So maybe that pushes against my theory there. But if I had to choose one, I'd be with you on Spidey.
My likelihood on this feels kind of low. Like I think they're just gonna stick with the X-Men stuff, and like I guess you could get a glance, and it's like, yeah, I mean, but I don't even know what the point is of that. Like it's not like it was very meaningful back in the show. It's just like, as you kind of said, a fun Easter egg. So really, like I think Deadpool for sure would pop up in here. But beyond that, I guess I'll go with like Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, which is maybe an easy prediction because Magneto is a big part of the season.
Yeah.
So he throws kids in there, but I think Scarlet Witch, which most people would probably now associate more as like an Avengers character than an X-Men character. And I don't even like in the current Marvel comics, like where is she? Does she have an alignment?
Oh, I don't actually know.
Or
It's
is there
been
like
a while.
multiple runs that go on at the same time and she could be doing all these different things?
I think she was. I think last time I saw her, I feel like she was on the Avengers with Vision. There was like a new lineup, but there's been so many lineups, so I don't know currently where she's actually.
But yeah, I mean, I think even for a lot of people like me and stuff, I didn't really know much about the character until the MCU, obviously. So I think that would be a fun character to bring back and have her in a bigger way. And yeah, I just want to see that element. Like I won't even bring Polaris back, right? Another one of Magneto's kids. Right? Like I want to see all these connections to Magneto. I really want to go deep on that character. And I hope we do because he's a big part of the season, hopefully. So I think those would be mine. And yeah, once again, the Spider-Man one, that feels like almost like a blunder if they don't because he kind of teased it. But once again, hopefully it's like a meaningful thing. Like, yeah, at least get a scene with him and it's not just, I don't know, some still frame without a voice, some freeze frame shot that we've kind of got before. But yeah, I think for the most part, this is going to be an X-Men show and they're not going to deviate from that.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Field?
Oh, remind me the question here. Sorry, I was trying to get the prompt still working here.
I think you thought about it for a couple seconds first.
Can I just pull it out of thin air and just what is it? Any other Marvel heroes?
Right.
The guy got fired from X-Men. What do you think of that?
Who's been looking for that guy's tweets?
Like James Gundam. Oh, we're gonna fire you, but in a couple years we're gonna bring you back.
I can't find his tweets for some reason.
Yeah.
I think on Twitter. What happened?
I think that there is a good chance.
Did you guys know this?
We could see Spider-Man like you were talking about, Kirkland, and especially what you mentioned, Travis, that little Easter egg there in the trailer too, seeing that little newspaper thing, that poster, whatever it was, the piece of paper that alluded to Spider-Man. I think that there is a chance that we could see him, but I'd like to see other characters like we got in the other animated series because we ranged from Thor. I think we got to see that Thing too, didn't we? And the Hulk, obviously.
I think so, something like that. Yeah.
And yeah, Ghost Rider, Deadpool. Like, man, they just were pulling out, and Captain America even was in one of the episodes as a primary. So
Yeah.
I think that it's a perfect opportunity to capitalize on something there, especially being in the realm now where look where we're at with just owning Disney, Marvel, all one massive entity. So just have fun with it and just start mingling those storylines a bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, the last thing I have, because maybe Taylor will have it. Do you guys think there'll be end credits in this? It's not an MCU project. They didn't have it before, but it's an MCU thing. So do you think that is that where Xavier could show up if they left to the finale, or you think it's going to be old school where it's just the show is the show?
Three end credit scenes throughout the show. Definitely one at the end of the season, but just two random episodes they're going to have it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I'll say none. I think they're going to keep the same formula that they had before, and no end credit.
I'm a none as well.
I'm going to say one.
Penultimate episode. Yeah.
Where's it going to be? Episode 1?
Yeah, right in the first episode.
All right, Taylor, you got your prompt ready? What did you ask it to get? Because this, I feel like it's not like it's the next movie and stuff. It's like a very specific question, so...
It was being weird. It has its moments and it has its fucking moments, but this time it was actually giving me like dialogue. It's like, well, I don't want that actual fucking script.
102-hour movie.
So I'll go with the first prompt that it gave me, which is great. What did I ask it for that? I just wrote write me a continuation to the X-Men animated series season 5. Picking up where the X-Men is just left behind. Xavier is taken off by Elandra, or taken away by Elandra. Taken off.
He's taken off, all right.
So they titled it X-Men Galaxy's Edge, coincidentally.
Wow.
Episode 1, Into the Unknown. With Professor Xavier whisked away by Landra, the
So-
X-Men are...
Wait, how many episodes did it write you?
You gave me 10.
How long are these paragraphs?
They're short paragraphs, like 3 sentences.
Okay. I say buckle up. Okay, start over again. Sorry.
The X-Men are left to navigate a tumultuous world without their leader. Cyclops struggles to fill the void as the team grapples with uncertainty and loss. Meanwhile, a new threat emerges in the form of the Brood, a parasitic alien race bent on conquest. As the X-Men race to stop the Brood's invasion, they encounter unexpected allies and face shocking betrayals that threaten to tear them apart. It's episode 1.
Okay.
Number 2, Shadows of Betrayal. As the X-Men investigate the source of the Brood's power, they uncover a shocking betrayal from within their own ranks. Gambit, haunted by his past sins, finds himself caught between loyalty to the team and his own desires. Meanwhile, Rogue grapples with their own
desires he has with Brood as a character.
Yeah.
I'm not into it.
Ushering
You don't
in
know
a
what I
new
did,
era.
mon ami. It's dark time.
Meanwhile, Rogue grapples with their own inner demons, torn between duty and love. With trust shattered and alliances fractured, the X-Men must confront their darkest fears as they face off against their greatest enemy yet.
Very vague terms. Just shock, trust broken.
Episode 3, War of the Worlds.
Damn.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah. The Brood's invasion reaches its climax as the X-Men launch a desperate assault on their stronghold. Amidst the chaos, Storm finds herself trapped in a claustrophobic nightmare.
Well, we've been here before.
I shouldn't laugh.
We've been
Forced
here
to
before.
confront her deepest fears. With time running out, another X-Men member must race against the clock to save her before it's too late. Meanwhile, Deadpool makes a chaotic entrance, causing mayhem wherever he goes, forcing the team to reluctantly team up with him to stop a common enemy. Episode
It's
4.
a serious episode, and then Deadpool's in here just fucking around.
While Storm's
freaking the
freaking
fuck
out. We're going to have Deadpool here to crack some jokes at her expense.
Episode 4, Descent into Darkness. As the X-Men delve deeper into the heart of the Brood's lair, they uncover...
But we defeated the
shocking-
Brood last time.
We're still in here.
We're
That was
back.
the start of the attack on the stronghold.
Yeah, we didn't defeat the layer, you know?
I swear
It's-
it said at the climax of the Brood something, but
It's like Return of the Kings when you have that big battle, but you still have to like go to Helm's, or you got to go to the Black Gate to still fight Sauron. You think it's over,
Yeah.
but there's another battle, you know?
They uncover shocking revelations that threaten to unravel everything they know. Meanwhile, Xavier's absence weighs heavily on the team as they struggle to cope with their grief. But just as all hope seems lost, a glimmer of light emerges on the horizon, leading to a revelation that will change everything. Episode 5, Return of the Phoenix.
Fuck, no.
We're going to the Black Gate.
Yeah, Brood's not making it out now.
In a shocking twist, Xavier returns to the X-Men. His resurrection shrouded in mystery. As the team grapples with the implications of his return, they must also confront a new threat, the re-emergence of the Phoenix Force. With Jean Grey once again possessed by its power, the X-Men must race against time to stop her before she destroys everything they hold dear.
I thought it was gonna be clever and Xavier was gonna come back with it. I was like, "Fuck, that'd be cool." Imagine he comes back to Earth and he's like
wild.
walking, everything.
He's
He's like, "Oh, Charles,
standing. Oh,
yeah."
my
I was like,
gosh.
"Oh, Charles, what did Alondra do?" And like, nothing. And he's like, fire, you know.
Sorry, did we defeat
Episodes-
Brood?
Yeah, I guess the Brood are done now. it
Well,
seems
we just
like.
said they were the layer. We never got a clear answer.
Killed
on
off
that.
screen.
Yeah,
Never see them again.
4-episode arc, and then just killed off screen.
I think the Phoenix took them all out. You know.
Episode 6, Clash of the Titans. As the X-Men face off against the Phoenix, they must also contend with a new adversary, Thanos.
Holy fuck.
Pick a lane. GPT.
This is the worst,
damn.
but for them, worst threats ever. You have Phoenix back and then Thanos also. So, yikes. Okay.
That's crazy. The Mad Titan, who seeks to harness the power of the Phoenix for his own nefarious purposes.
Oh, okay. Phoenix
I like
Stone.
that. I like that.
Yeah.
With the fate of the universe hanging in the balance, the X-Men must put aside their differences and stand united against this formidable foe. But as alliances are tested and sacrifices are made, not everyone will emerge unscathed. Episode 7, Dark Revelations. As the battle against Thanos reaches its climax, shocking revelations come to light that threaten to tear the X-Men apart. Secrets long buried are unearthed, leading to betrayals that cut to the core of the team. Meanwhile, Gambit and Rogue's relationship is put to the test as they confront their own demons amidst the chaos. With the fate of mutant kind hanging in the balance, the X-Men must make impossible choices that will shape the future of the galaxy.
Again, the most vague, like deep secrets. No, but it's I guess good to know that they are an item, Gambit and Rogue. So there
They're
you
an
go.
item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being tested
Episode
to the
8.
limits, though.
Tested to the limits. Yeah.
Tested before it
redemption.
even began.
In the aftermath of the battle, the X-Men emerge victorious, but forever changed by the events that have transpired. With Xavier back at the helm, they stand ready to face whatever challenges the future may hold. As they mourn their fallen comrades and celebrate their victories, they reaffirm their commitment to
died?
protecting a world that fears and hates them. And as they look to the future, they know whatever trials may come, they will face them together, united as one family.
That's not
Episode
even
9.
None of that is content for an episode. That's just random babble.
Resolution. Yeah.
What is
It's
what is
all
that
dialogue.
episode?
It's all only a dialogue.
It's like a narrator just talking about where they
It's
are.
one monologue for 30 minutes.
Logan standing in front of a gravestone while this is all being narrated.
Just carving it into the gravestone.
Yeah. Episode 9, The Final Stand. As the dust settled from their battle against Thanos and the Phoenix, the X-Men find themselves facing their most daunting challenge yet. A new threat emerges in the form of the Sentinels. So they're bringing the Sentinels back now, it seems like. Relentless machines programmed to
You thought
exterminate
Phoenix
mutants.
Force was bad. You thought Thanos was bad. What about the Sentinels?
With humanity turning against them and the government sanctioning the use of Sentinels, the X-Men are forced into hiding. Desperate times call for desperate measures. The X-Men must band together with the remaining allies to launch a final stand against the forces arrayed against them. As they fight for their survival, sacrifices are made, unexpected heroes rise to the occasion, in a climactic showdown. The X-Men confront the Sentinels in a battle that will determine the fate of mutant kind. And finally, episode 10. In the aftermath of the battle, the X-Men emerge victorious, but forever changed by the events that have transpired. With
Oh no. We're going in
They've
circles.
changed a lot.
They changed a lot. With the threat of the Sentinels neutralized and peace restored, the X-Men begin the long process of rebuilding their shattered world. Xavier, having returned from his journey with Elandra, takes up his mantle as leader once more, guiding the team into a new era of hope and possibility. As the X-Men look to the future, they know that the road ahead will not be easy, but as long as they stand together, they are confident they can overcome any obstacle. The X-Men vow to honor the memory of those that they lost and protect the world that fears and hates them. Yeah.
That was
We
the
gotta-
best. That was the
Yeah,
best
it's
one.
not ChatGPT's best, not their
I feel
best
like
effort.
they were
phoned it in
forever
with the
changed
Thanos part.
multiple times throughout the season. Charles, what was it? Stood at the helm of the X-Men multiple times.
Yeah.
Goes off with Alondra. That was
So, post credits, the scene opens in a dimly lit underground laboratory where Omega
Laboratory.
Red.
Oh
cybernetic-
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I'm back. I'm back for season 2, baby. Season 1 was a little
forever change you, X-Men.
yeah. Forever change you.
His cybernetic tentacles pulsating with energy.
Oh, boy.
It's been so long since I fought the X-Men.
Gambit's got to get a piece of that too, just like you did with Brood, eh?
Those
Oh, yeah.
American
That-
bastards.
Can't stop throbbing.
Help me, X-Men.
He stands before a holographic projection of Doctor Doom.
Doom's like, I can come back. I don't need to. I don't need to be here. for this.
The air crackles with tension as the two formidable adversaries engage in a clandestine conversation. Omega Red says gruffly, "I don't trust you, Doom." Dr. Doom calmly, "Nor I you, Omega Red, but desperate times call for desperate measures." Omega Red nods begrudgingly. "We have a common enemy in the X-Men. If we are to prevail, we must put aside our differences." And Dr. Doom raises an eyebrow. "Agreed, but what is your proposal?" Omega Red steps forward, his cybernetic tentacles pulsating with energy. "We strike at the heart of their strength. We capture one of their own, someone they hold dear." Dr. Doom considers for a moment before nodding. "And who do you propose we target?" Omega Red, a sinister smirk tugs at his lips. "Magneto, the master of magnetism himself. Use him as bait to lure Xavier and the X-Men onto our terms." The holographic projection flickers to life, revealing Magneto restrained within a containment field, his powers neutralized by advanced technology.
You already got him.
They already got him.
Somehow the Metal Man snuck attack Magneto.
Dr. Doom, a predatory gleam in his eyes, a calculated gambit, Omega Red, with Magneto in our grasp. The X-Men will have no
They're
choice but to
fucking-
come to us.
For sure, fucking Doom and Omega. They're way too. This conversation's way too flirty. Oh, what was that line again? What was the line?
A calculated gambit, Omega Red.
Yeah. Hell, that's why he's throbbing. He's seen his love.
Omega Red nods in agreement, and when they do, we will be ready for them. As the scene fades to black, the alliance between Omega Red and Doctor Doom is solidified, setting the stage for a new chapter in their ongoing conflict with the X-Men. There you go, season 1 wrapped up.
See, now I would hope season 1 would be better, but if there was an end credit with that the end credit, that's a banger. If that was the end credit, I'd be super excited for season 2. Doom and Red together, Magneto already tied up. Like, I'd be very curious where it's gonna go. So, saved it in the end there. So, all right, let's take another ad break. We'll talk about some news and trailers. So we'll be right back. And we're back. So what I'm going to do is going to hit you with the big old quick fire. And then you can talk about what you want to, what you don't, whatever floats your boat. Let me read out the whole thing. Christopher Nolan's new rumor movie, which I did an Oscar cast, but again, congrats Nolan. You know, for second year in a row where the best picture for the Oscars and Golden Geeks have been the same one. Ooh. Everything Everywhere at Once and Oppenheimer. So, and then last year we had 3 of the same winners. This year we had 4. So there you go. Christopher Nolan, won Oscars, made a bunch of money because I guess he had bonuses came out today if he won Oscars. So apparently he made like $100 million off Oppenheimer just for himself because he took back end points. So good on him. So, nice. But there's rumors going around right now from Variety. So it's an A-tier thing. So I think this is probably something that's happening. Some say Christopher Nolan's next film might be a remake of the 1960s TV series The Prisoner, which I've never seen or heard of. The plot follows an agent who resigns from his job but is kidnapped by a mysterious seaside village full of captives in constant surveillance. So you got that going on. Ubisoft, I forgot. I'll have to go take a look at who's producing it, so I forgot this. But Ubisoft announced they're making a Watch Dogs movies, and it's starring the girl, I'll find out her name as well, from Talk to Me. So she's going to be in that as the lead if it happens. I don't know how much there's to add here, but I had to add it for the meme purposes because, I don't know if Dylan, you were around for, I think you were missing this era of Big Dan Lin, but Dan... Were you a little bit? Okay, I think you're the tail end. But Dan Lin, he did produce the Lego movies, lots of The Conjuring. At one point, he was in the running to be the James Gunn of DC. Obviously, that didn't happen. But now he's going to be the Netflix studio head. So good for Big Bad Dad Lin. Neve Campbell is coming back. She announced today that she is coming back for Scream 7. It's going to be a legacy cast sequel as they've excommunicado their all new cast. And Ari Aster is officially filming his new movie with Austin Butler, Pedro Pascal, Joaquin Phoenix, and Emma Stone.
God damn.
The rumor is it's a young couple that finds themselves in a western town, so I don't know. I would assume Butler and Stone are maybe the young couple, but that doesn't mean it could also be like another actor, actress, and I just think probably the town's going to be something weird's going on with it, right? But it sounds like it might be some sort of western. So, Dylan, what's floating your boat there with all that stuff? Lots of news we got the past couple days here.
I mean, Ari Aster, he's always floating my boat. And, looking at his movies, like, Hereditary is still my favorite. Midsummer is, like, slightly not as good. And Beau is Afraid, I don't know. It's not quite as good as either of those. So it's been, like, a bit of a downhill, but, like, it's not, I'm not any less excited for it.
It's not rapid.
Movie.
It's not like a nosedive. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just, like, a personal taste thing. But I like that he's just taking weirdo swings with all his movies. And this cast is fucking phenomenal. So I cannot wait for this movie if this is real. I feel like I don't even want to know the plot. Like, I don't care what it is. I'll show up. No, I don't mean in that way. I just like it. You could tell me that, and it almost has no meaning at this point, just because of Beau is Afraid and thinking about what that movie is, and then seeing it and it being like a total pivot from anything I could have expected. So yeah, that is amazing for me. That is like immediately top 5 most anticipated movies for me. Like that is huge. I can't wait for that. Hope that ends up being the case.
I think they're filming now, so I think it's all go. It was rumored a couple of months ago, but now it's like they posted a picture of the clap, whatever it's called, the clap trap or whatever. It's like clap board, film board. I can't remember. We didn't have one of those on set, but it has the logo. They're out in the fucking desert shooting, so they're shooting right now. So
oh my god, well that's. Matt Reeves, take notes. That's how you do it. You make a movie and then you write a script and you make another one. I'm just kidding. He's doing a great job. My question with that: where does Emma Stone find all this time to do all these movies and shows? Like, does she have more hours in the day than the average?
But what did she do last year?
Well, she was
just
in
2 projects,
Four
right?
Things.
Yeah.
She did a TV show called The Curse. that you may have heard of, which that's a TV show that's more days on set, I would imagine. I mean, Poor Things might have been 7 years. I don't know.
And she just filmed another film with Yorgos it's last year, maybe this year. Yeah, it's her, Margot Qualley, Justin Plemons, and Willem Dafoe. So that's another stat cast too.
God, you're talking to me tonight. Look at these movies.
I think The Curse could have been filmed a while back ago because you're right about the TV show, but I think because it probably took a long time to edit, I feel like that probably was the timeline.
I guess it's just that everything she does is good to great at these days. Like she just
and she's
her
the star
and her agent are crushing it. So that's all very exciting for me. And then I think the only other thing that's really relevant for me there is the Christopher Nolan stuff. Which when I first in our GB Discord saw that post that his next movie is going to be a remake of this TV series, which is a weird thing to make a film remake of a TV series. Immediately I was like, I don't really want that. I'd kind of rather see something original, even if Oppenheimer wasn't that. But then I read the synopsis for what that TV show was, and it's like Truman Show meets Shutter Island, filmed by Christopher Nolan. Like, hell yeah, I want that more than anything in the world. So I really hope it happens. I think that would be really exciting for me, even though I haven't seen that 60s TV show.
Retro coming for
very
prisoners?
old,
No,
so
I'm
that's
joking.
That's a fine time. Like, no one really knows what that is, probably. So I think it's a good thing to kind of revive from the dead, essentially. Like, that's a great plot that I'm sure was a lot different in the 60s than it would be when you film it in 2024, 25, whenever he starts filming it. So that's incredibly exciting for me.
It was also a British television show, so that probably tracks
I saw that too. That makes a lot of sense. He was probably nostalgic for it.
Genre,
his biscuits and tea as a young lad or something.
I like this. The genre of the show was psychological drama and spy-fi. So not sci-fi, spy-fi. That sounds so much up Nolan. The fucking logo too for Prisoner, it's like the bike with the bit. Like, remember that bike in Poor Things? Emma Stone was like riding around her house. That's the logo for the show. So
it is totally, yeah.
And it's only was one season, so maybe I'm not sure if there's like a show from start to like a full ending that he could reroute. But yeah, this actually seems like it's completely Nolan's bandwagon.
One season, 17 episodes. A very random number for a TV series. But I love it.
Yeah. Taylor, what about you? What about I gotta ask you about Watch Dogs first, because I know you're a Ubi guy, but I don't know if is this like where you're like, yeah, this is like, I'm very excited. I know you said, oh, where's the Division show or movie? I don't know if that's happening anymore, but
it's officially dead as far as I'm concerned.
It's officially dead.
I'd say it's officially dead.
Oh, you would say it's okay. So it's not officially dead. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure COVID literally killed that movie and whatever they were planning to do with it. Because I think wasn't Jake Gyllenhaal tied to that at one point?
It was Gyllenhaal and someone else, like Jessica Chastain. But I'm gonna tell you, I don't think that movie was ever happening, to be honest. I feel like it was one of those, like, we have someone bought an IP, they have it, and then they're like, they thought the game was going to be bigger. I'm not saying Division wasn't big, but I feel like they thought maybe it could end up being bigger, and then it wasn't. So it's like, do we need to make this movie on, like, I guarantee it's not like, at least, like, it's pretty much similar to Prisoner, where I feel like you make a Division movie, mainstream isn't going to know that's a game. Where Assassin's Creed, I feel like there's enough people like, oh yeah, that's the guy at the hood, and, you know, he's an assassin, like... You know,
I feel like that the Division story, I think it's a great story. I don't know how it would have fared being in a movie, but I think the first game, I love the narrative. But Watch Dogs, I never got around to playing Legion, and that was something I still to this day I want to play, especially because you can recruit all these people, right? And that just looked like it was a lot of fun.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool.
Watch Dogs 2, I own Watch Dogs 2, and I played a little bit of it, and I haven't beaten the first one or the second one, but I played both of them, and it is fun. It's a cool world, so I'm just curious what they would focus on, how they would go about kind of doing the story. Are we just going to be a random person? Are we going to be playing as, I can't remember.
I think it's it's the Adrian Pierce or whatever his name was.
That's what they'd focus on?
No, you said what his name. I was answering you. I think because I think all the main characters have been males, and if it's starring an actress, I think they're gonna go a different route. I honestly think this is just a movie they had a script for, and they're like, well, we could put the Watch Dogs IP on this, and let's do that. Because like, if you're not adapting any one of those stories, it's just about someone randomly that hacks. So it's just like, is it like any hacking script could be Watch Dogs, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'll if it comes out, I'll watch it because I'm pretty positive on Prince of Persia. I'm still pretty positive on Assassin's Creed movie. So I'll be there.
Other stuff, or you want to skip all that?
Nolan doing another project like this. That's
Another project like this. What's the first one he did?
oh, I couldn't tell you.
Prisoner looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Poor words. So him doing this type of a project.
Sequel to
I've
Poor
never
Things.
heard of the show Prisoners, but I mean, I'm enticed.
Just
I
The
love
Prisoner. Prisoners is that one where it's the two guys that got to escape. This is The Prisoner.
The
That's not
Prisoners.
Prison Break.
The
Yeah.
Prisoner.
Oh, that's Prisoner. You're right. Prisoners that's the Denis Villeneuve one, right? With Hugh Jackman and
Yeah.
like, where's my daughter? Yeah, that one. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen it, so I don't know if he does that.
Oh my
That's
God,
good.
you got to see Prisoners, man. That's good.
That's a good watch.
That's good stuff, man.
You
So,
got fucking
Retro, didn't he?
what's
I
his
think one
name?
day I want to do Denis retro for sure. Yeah.
Paul Dano in there. My gosh.
Yeah.
Dano.
He sings the Batman Christmas jingle like Batman Got Away, and it's funny years later. It's like fuck, full circle. Now he's a spider on Netflix.
Circle
Circle
back
back.
on that.
Yep. Yeah.
So with Nolan, so he obviously
course.
he won at the Oscars and whatnot. So
Yep.
you said he wins an Oscar, he gets money.
Apparently that was in the contract. If he won Oscars for the studio, he got bonuses. So what it was, he was smart because I think Paramount or Universal is much like me, where I did say I don't think Oppenheimer's going to do that well. He took back end points instead of taking full on more money. So he ended up making $85 million. After tax, he got 72. But then with all this other stuff, he's making like $102 million just for like himself. So he was
On
very
top of
smart.
that?
On
Or
what?
you're just saying in total?
In
Like,
total, he made 100. His
Yeah,
paycheck is 102 million because he took those back end points. Because the movie almost made $1 billion. Like fucking smart. It's the same
Yeah,
thing
not
Jack
bad.
Nicholson did that in the 90s with Batman, and he apparently made like a shitload of money. And he did it on the toys, everything, and everyone like Jack just like
Smart guy.
cleaned up. Yeah, but it's smart until you do that in the movie bombs, because then it's like then. You make not dick all, but like you make like you could it's guaranteed money versus the chance money, right? And Nolan took a chance and it paid off more ways than one. He's a fucking Academy Award winner, and
That's when he
Pump out
started.
those, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'm curious what he's pumping out.
yeah,
I was gonna say we gotta pump out those adrenochrome action figures.
Oh yes.
the action figures. Yeah, I can't wait for a Hunter action.
You don't have to
figure.
pay me, but I want all the royalties when it comes to the
Yeah,
action figures.
Kirkland wants the back end. Yeah, he'll give you the back end points. Here's your $3.
I was just gonna say that's where Nolan is just spamming Cillian Murphy's inbox after he made that deal. He's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, if we're getting the Oscar here,
Yeah,
need my boy Cillian."
Just calling him nonstop.
Yeah.
You get my
Showing up to
message?
his house. Yeah. Hey, I'm outside. I know you're in there. I see movement.
And sorry, what was the last? Other
Scream.
topic
You
there?
can talk on that because we just reviewed the last.
Scream,
Well, there's
yeah.
not. We got Dan Lin, Ari Aster. You don't care because you're not watching those movies. But Scream. How do you feel about? We lost Ortega. We lost Melissa. Whatever. Due to some stuff now, she's coming back. And Neve Campbell
Yeah,
after notoriously she didn't come after the last one because they wouldn't pay her a certain amount of money. So
The political scene has destroyed that Scream movie.
oh yeah, it's a fucking mess.
Yeah,
it's
so
a
now-
disaster.
They've literally, I mean, all the money that they would have given to those actors and actresses, they literally piled it together and were like, Neve,
Yeah.
like, here you
Nev.
fucking go. Nev,
Yeah.
Nev, here you go.
Neve, you're giving her all that Nerf. Yeah.
So I mean, she's making absolute bank, which is great. I mean, I'd love to see her come back for another Scream movie. I'm curious what they would do, because I feel like the last one was a really good kids. I guess so. The last
gonna
one
go
was
for
like
the
a really
kids.
really good like culmination of just every
yeah.
arc that we've had. Well, of course, like the way that they pulled off the villains, I guess, and that was a little bit like, not
Yeah.
the greatest. Like, and they were
Yes,
close
Bubs,
to
don't even
landing a
try to
great one.
defend it in Discord. I don't want to hear you say shit about Scream 6 and the shit third act, you know?
I'm gonna have to go through and do a whole Scream rewatch probably by the time this one comes out. But I'm wondering, how far are they gonna go with these? Is this gonna be like the last one? Are they gonna keep?
I already know I got the answer for you.
Oh,
Until they stop making money. That's what's going to happen. Neve Campbell said, for Scream 3 press said, I'm happy we're ending here because, like, if you go on too long, it starts to lose its importance and meaning. And here we are at Scream 7, 20 years
but
later,
what happens if
and
they,
she's
if
back.
they lose her? What if another
Like in real
political
life?
situation makes her like?
I think they'd either reboot or start with just a new cast of characters. 'Cause at least the good thing with Screen is you can always make somebody related to somebody, kind of like a Star Wars. But and it depends.
Bell.
Yeah, man, get Lionsgate, Scream versus he's after Ghostface now, but yeah, it all depends because right now this company called Spyglass Media has it, and they're the ones that did the firings and everything. So in the future, they might not even have the rights. It's like Halloween, right, where it kind of bounces all over and stuff. So next time you get a Scream could be a reboot, or what you could literally do is Neve Campbell's not back. You jump 20 years, and it's about her kids, right? Because they may establish she has kids in these movies now.
Right. That TV show that was that part
Non-canon.
Of this? Oh, okay. Okay.
Non-canon.
I redact.
Any happy Big Dan Lynn's back?
I mean, it's been a good minute since we were talking about him. So he's leading the charge, basically. His
At
new
Netflix,
regime
yeah.
over at Netflix. Yeah, that's
He's the
pretty
guy.
Powerful.
Yeah.
So
The film side, is that include
just
TV
film.
shows, or is that just
No, just film. He's just a film guy. So yeah.
I mean, that gets me really, really excited. I like the majority of everything that he was pumping out beforehand, and so if we
Haunted Mansion. Did you like that? That was his last thing he
I
produced.
actually did like Haunted Mansion.
There you go.
So if we're seeing him just usher in some new shit with Netflix, I mean, I bought the Netflix membership only for Avatar: The Last Airbender, and now that they've confirmed 2 more seasons, I will be sneaking back that credit card into the subscription for those when those seasons drop. So, I mean, if Big Dan lit. What? I know, it's so funny.
He said it like a teenager who's like stealing his mom's.
I thought you were saying like you were like using Kirkland's Netflix card just the way like, oh, I will be dipping in and steal. Like, it's your card. You're not stealing it. Like, it's your money. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it. But again, though, Big Dan Lin, that's not. He's in TV, so he didn't greenlight those seasons.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know. He's
Taylor Dan Lin, executive
film
producer
guy.
on Avatar: The Last Airbender. There you go.
He's
Was
what?
he actually?
Yeah,
Really?
Executive
Okay, so
producer,
he's got his
Amazing.
hand in some TV. Look at that.
you're loving all of his recent stuff.
He's spreading out.
He's gonna show James Gunn too. You know, he's gonna go and be like, I should have got that DC job. And
Yeah.
If they do more,
Just
if he
texting
does,
Matt Reeves, I'll let your movie release. We can do it R over here.
yeah,
I just
Netflix.
want to.
Batman goes into public domain in 7 years. If you can wait, we'll do it at Netflix.
I want to see more of that Conjuring kind of stuff pop in. Now we know that obviously there's one more Conjuring film, and that's going to kind of conclude. But let's get more into that paranormal side of stuff with Netflix. Let's get into it.
I'm glad you said that. I'm like, he just can't like take the movies with him. Like, I'm gonna take the Conjuring as well. It's part of my deal. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to see what he cooks up. I like the stuff he did, and like I said, I feel like there should be some motivation there too, because you did want a certain job and didn't go that way. So I think there is kind of like a fuck you, I'll show you. I'm very interested to see how the Zack Snyder thing goes, because he was notoriously not a big fan of like his DC era, and Zack's all like a big Netflix guy over there, and Rebel Moon's coming out, but who knows? Maybe he doesn't care as long as DC stuff. So I'm just happy for the meme that when we watch movies on Netflix, if we ever review them, we're gonna see Dan Lin there again, and everyone go watch. It was in the Discord. If not, hit us up or SBubs. SBubs made a great montage of when we talk about Big Dan Lin and like the meme, and it's like a 2-cast thing. It's like a 15-minute best of, and it was a good time. We had too many laughs on that one. So. Scream, yeah, Taylor already said it's just a fucking disaster. It's weird how we just went from this one lead dropping out because they didn't give her the money, and then they got rid of the other leads for some bullshit reasons, and then that lead they wouldn't pay, whatnot. So it's like it just shows of like, oh, if it comes down to money or the political side, it's like, well, yeah, we'll just still do the money. And same even with Neve. I'm not gonna say anything on her because I don't know her life. I think there is like I'm a tad disappointed because it's like, oh, I wish that maybe people came back, but wait until it like switches studios, because it is kind of shitty. Like, to me, the way they fired Melissa, now it's like, oh, she's coming back. But at the same time, I'm a hypocrite because I'm going to watch it. So that's why I can't cast stones. I just feel like, oh, I was kind of holding out hope this go for a different one. All I need confirmed is I want Patrick Dempsey back. I've been calling for it for fucking years. I need him. He was in Scream 3. He's never come back. He's like one of the only legacy people. He's better than he ever has. He killed in Thanksgiving. So I really want, I really want him back. What else was on there? Watchdog. That movie's 5 years too late, and even then, like they missed that movie's gonna eat shit unless it's on streaming, in my opinion. Like they missed the boat on that. I feel like even Watchdogs the game is like that hype is dead. So I just feel like, what's the movie? So maybe that's the pitch of like, let's make something completely different. And Nolan, what I like about this is that synopsis, and he had said two things while believed Oppenheimer Oscar season. He's like, oh, some people, which I agree with. He's like, some people have said there's some scenes in here that are like a horror movie, and it's like, yeah, I agree with that, like the gymnasium and everything. It's not as big as maybe he was saying, but like I agree with him that there are that type of scenes. And he said just a couple months ago, like, oh, I'd like to do a horror movie. I don't think Nolan will ever pony up and do a full-on horror movie, because I feel like that, I don't know, maybe he's won an Oscar now, he doesn't care. But like, I just feel like because horror still has like a certain look on it, like it's lesser than. So I was always like, oh, will he do that? But I feel like this reading of a guy stuck on an island being constantly watched, that feels like the type of horror that Nolan would like dip his toes into, and it's like horror adjacent, right? So I think, and there's things in his movies, even the Batman movies, that are scary or horror adjacent. Even Heath Ledger's Joker is like a almost scary individual. Well, he's a scary individual, but like he has flavors of a horror villain. So I think it's not an accident that in interviews he's been talking about wanting to do a horror type of film, and this is the plot. And I feel like that's probably where The Prisoner, the show, maybe it's not that like scary, but maybe he might change that a little bit and make that be about more under surveillance nowadays. And he touched upon that in Dark Knight already about being like under surveillance all the time. So yeah, and Ari Aster, yeah, like that's I'm excited for him, especially after Beau Was Afraid he's getting that cast, because that movie did not do well. So I'm excited he's still getting stuff, and I'm just very excited for this GOAT Emma Stone era where she's just doing this weird shit. Yeah, like Curse, Poor Things, The Favorite, this, whatever she's working on with Yorgos next, like. I just love that she didn't really have to do any of this stuff. She could be doing a lot of other more just mainstream, like bigger budget money projects. But like she's not getting paid a fucking boatload for this movie. I promise you the budget for this movie is not going to be high. So, and you can afford to do that, but I just like that because some actors don't. So I'm very excited, and I hope I like it more than, maybe Beau Was Afraid, but it's a guy that I'm always going to see his stuff because, it's all unique. So.
Yeah, the Ari Aster pairing with those big names, I think that's the most exciting one on this list of names that we've been talking about, words and all this such. I always interested by the project. Still haven't seen Beau Was Afraid, actually, and
can't believe it.
I'm still very just in the dark on actually what that movie is. So I'm gonna have to throw that on here pretty soon. But yeah, no, fantastic pairing with all those actors in there. I feel like it's almost like too many big names to be believable, but here we are, and I don't know, it's exciting. For the Nolan stuff, I'm always interested in in a Nolan movie, so that's pretty hype there. I think he's definitely probably my favorite director. I would probably say that. I think I can live with that statement. All of his projects are up there, and yeah. I think that's really all I have else to add on this string of lists here. Watch Dogs, I completely agree with you, Travis. I think it's way too late on that one. I think if they wanted to do it, they should have had that ready to go, like leading into maybe the second movie, because I feel like that game kind of peaked and the hype around it just in that era. So, yeah. Who knows? Maybe it could be surprising. Like what... Yeah. I was just trying to think of like what video game adaptation has like done well, transferred over to film or TV show, and really Last of Us is like the only one that I could really back.
Well, I feel like you three would say Mario.
I thought you loved Sonic too. Ain't you like Sonic?
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. I forgot about Sonic. So never mind. You just listed 3 right there.
Uncharted. I wouldn't say Uncharted, but it's fine. Okay. Still definitely a TV show, but because I feel like Watch Dog, that if I'm thinking of it, that would probably be a better movie than a TV show. I guess you could do like a Hackers, Mr. Robot type of show, but I feel like if you're doing an action adventure hacker, that's like a solid 2-hour action flick right there. I think
that ends up being forgettable and bombs at the theater, just like you were pitching.
Yeah, and same thing. We just talked about Division. Who knows this movie actually happens, right? It's like something they're working on, but. Taylor, where's that Netflix Assassin's Creed show they announced like 6 years ago?
I know. I've been waiting on that. I haven't heard
Big Dan
any
Lin.
rumbles. I mean,
Big Dan Lin. Yeah.
Big Dan Lin. Yeah. I mean, fuck. I don't remember when I was in quick side tangent. When I was in Toronto, like probably a decade ago, and I spoke to one of the Ubisoft people, they mentioned that they were talking about doing something with Netflix. And like, look how fucking far along we are now, and there's still nothing. Like, all we got was a logo.
Yeah, it's like Matt Reeves' Batman 2.
Jeez.
Some trailers to hit you guys with Inside Out 2, The Watches, which is directed by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. We talked about that a little bit. The Strangers Chapter 1 and Fallout, which also along with the Fallout trailer, which that is the one I did not watch. I'm sorry, but I can give some input. Give me your thoughts, because we know about what we didn't talk about. It's all going to be dropping Binge on Amazon instead. They've do this with a few series. I was talking about this with Joe from Geek Cult Alliance, and he said, well, they did this with Archer, or what the fuck is that? Reacher. Yeah, it's Reacher. Jack Reacher, and that was Binge, and then it did really well. But then there's another show they did that with, and it was canceled. So not a big sign of history for Amazon. They haven't done that too many times. I think there's another one that either got canceled or picked up. So Binge has not been their thing. Usually do the 3 episodes and the whatnot. But I guess I'll just go because I'm talking about it. I'm very curious about why they're doing that. I hope it's like to strike while the iron's hot, because as we talked about in June, there is a lot of stuff coming out with a Star Wars show, House of Dragon, which I think is also a big one you do want to avoid. They even have The Boys, so maybe it's something about that. I hope it's not a quality thing like we feared with Echo, which I feel like that was with Echo, even though end up people mostly liking that. But I hope it's not a this show sucks, let's get it out there and hope for the best. I don't know the method. Maybe they're trying things out. As far as a review, we're going to do the usual. We'll all watch it, and whenever we all finish, we'll get together. But, so yeah, I didn't see the news trailer, but I'm not sure if it's I don't know if it's the right move, really. I feel like Fallout's popular, but I still feel like the weekly would have been better. The Watches, I really don't know. It definitely feels like it's M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, but to me, it looked like it could literally be like Old, where that it could be some movie we talk about the whole year being really underrated, or look like it could be complete dog shit. I don't mean that in an insulting way. I know it sounds like that, but I just mean like it just means like a movie we could forget. There was a lot of things in the trailer, but nothing that got me excited. That's what was disappointing. It was a lot of like mysterious stuff, but sometimes that can happen. And then, oh, I'm intrigued about that, but just I want to know who they are. That didn't get me going. Inside Out 2, that looks great. I'm excited for it. Loved all the plays on them, anxiety and the emotions and embarrassment. I think that emotion looks like it's going to kind of steal the show. I think that was tons of fun. I like the plot of them, all the new emotions locking up the old ones of like trying to take over. So I think that's
the purple emotion.
I don't know.
Was
I
it
can't
like
remember.
depression?
The big. Oh no, it's like Enya or something like that. It's like EN.
Is that an emotion you're familiar with?
No, I didn't even know it until it's like ENNUI. It was something like that. I'll look it up after. Inui? Yeah, is that it? What is it described as?
Boredom.
Okay.
There you go.
I was like 5 days old, or 5 days old, yeah, when I figured that or whatever. Today's year old, that expression. But yeah, it looks good. I really appreciate it. In Riley's room, there's a poster of Four Town, so I love any shout out to Turning Red we can get there. And The Strangers, we'll see this. Well, at least I know me and Taylor are seeing this. I think we've talked about all maybe doing like a couple retros here and there. It definitely looks like they're going to change a few things, but it looks close to a remake.
Can you give me context here? Why are you guys excited for this?
Strangers?
Is it a remake or something?
Well, that's what it looks like now, because it just said at first it was a reboot, and then they're doing these 3 chapters or whatever, or 3 movies, which is bold. But now that I've seen the trailer, it looks very much close to the first one. Definitely some things have changed, but the setup of a couple of the cabin stuff, the only thing that seems different is they seem a lot more outside in this one. So I don't know. I'm all down for our new Strangers, but I don't know if I necessarily wanted to be a remake. I'm not saying you can't remake it, just in the sense of I don't know if you can top that one trying to do the same thing. So yeah, this gave me a bit more worry than excitement, but I'll still watch it because I'm curious, and I do like Remy Harlan. So that's my thoughts on all these trailers.
I'll just go next with The Strangers there. I had the complete feeling that you had there on just the resemblance of the first movie. Like, I was kind of head scratching. I'm like, are they doing this on purpose? Like, I actually thought this was supposed to be a different story with the chapters involved there. And then just on the actual trailer, it said, like, see where the strangers became the strangers. And
yeah,
like,
I didn't like that.
I'm not too interested in that, actually. And I was very much with you, where it's just like, it's so similar in the sense of like, well, why wouldn't I just watch the first movie? Like the first movie is one of the scariest movies I've seen, and like some of those core memories of just like where I was, like just at my age and seeing that movie like gave me nightmares. Like it was totally a freaky concept, and what they did was just perfect in my mind. And the fact that I'm just seeing that here, it's a little bit worrisome.
Are they just hoping that maybe people that didn't see the original see this and have that same feeling with this one?
Maybe, but like, why do you have to market it like the stranger, like where the strangers became the
Yeah, I don't like that.
Because if you don't know who the strangers are, like, why do I want to know where they came from? Like, they're just freaky individuals with masks. But so yeah, I'm definitely not as positive after seeing this trailer, which is never really where you want to be after seeing a trailer. You're supposed to build up hype and get you excited. It seemed like some of a difference here, and maybe my memory's foggy. It's been a while since I've seen that first one, but like, it seems like the town is a lot more like freaky deaky, whereas
they go
before,
out a
it was
lot
just-
more. Yeah.
Yeah, and like when they show up to the town, it just seems like everybody's sus, as if it's like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre type town. Or
Yeah,
something.
I'm not liking that vibe either. But that's the
Yeah.
weird thing, because that I shouldn't say that. Like, I don't know if that's what I need, but at the same time, I guess that would be something new, right? So it's funny, like
Yeah.
the stuff they're showing that's old, is like, well, I've been there, done that, and then the new stuff they're showing is like, well, I don't know about that, but I guess what they just know that there's these strangers in town fucking people up. I don't know.
Yeah. For the watch, is it the Watches or the Watcher?
I think
Watchers.
Was it the Watchers? Okay.
Watchers.
I'm sorry, I thought it was the
Um,
Watches.
That's what I read on my notes, and so you typed the notes, so it makes sense why I thought it was that. But I definitely had similar vibes to like thinking of Old in the sense of
Yes,
it's funny
right?
because I forgot that it was actually M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, the director here. So it's even funnier in that sense. Because when I was seeing the marketing for Old, I'm like, this is strange. Like, it's definitely intriguing, and I kind of want to know what's going on. And then now, in hindsight, knowing what I know, it's a little bit worrisome there. But I mean, M. Night hits, and sometimes he flops. But and like, I don't really want to compare just because it's his daughter. That by no means is going to be the same path that she goes on, but
Certainly looks like it as far as sensibilities, right? Like,
Yeah.
it feels like she likes. That's not a bad thing. I'm just saying it seems like she's a fan of what her father does, because it has, like, if you were to tell me he directed this or wrote it, it's like this.
I would have believed you.
I would believe it. So I feel like, which is a good thing. She's like, okay, I like what my dad did in his film, so it looks very in the ballpark, in my opinion.
So I am curious for sure with that one. Inside Out 2, I think it looks fantastic. I think that first movie's great. It took me so long to at least see that movie. It was literally like, I think last year I saw that movie for the first time, and it's nice I don't have to wait too long for the second. It's gonna be fun to experience these new emotions and tug at the heartstrings that those movies usually do. And then Fallout. Yeah, I was really not sold with the first trailer that I saw for this one. However, I will say this trailer definitely was a lot better for me. I don't know
Nice.
if it's just because I had like I didn't know what to expect on the first time viewing like the original trailer, whereas now I had negative thoughts in mind. And seeing it here, it's like, okay, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. And I kind of like the binge method. Every once in a while, I think this show is a good one to have that on, because we were mentioning Halo earlier, and that just feels like we've been reviewing this season for like six months already.
You
and
wish that was a binge method, is what you're
yeah,
saying?
like I'd rather just chop it up and do it in 3-4 episodes at a time and just call it a day. But so if it's bad, it's nice that I can get over it. But if it's good, I can just kind of keep going. So I'm happy that it is the binge method for those reasons. And I don't know. Hopefully it's good. I want another good game adaptation piece of media to really praise. It's been rough waters so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll jump in on that because I'm in the same spot as you are with Fallout. That this trailer got me more interested. I think it looked really
Nice.
good. I like the variety of what we're seeing here. There's a lot of walking around in this trailer, but that's like all the games are. You're just walking around and you're just existing, and it just has that atmosphere, and you're just walking through places that are destroyed, and there's a lot of that in this trailer. So I'm into that. If it's just what's her name, Ella Purnell, is that the actress's name? Just walking around places, I'm into that. Like, let's do it. I don't know, maybe that we could get a bit dry by episode 8 or 9 or 10, but I feel like this trailer did a really good job of setting up to me the way this show is going to go, where I feel like you're going to get an episode or two in the vault. Maybe we're going to get a lot of the dynamics there, and then she's going to get out, and it's going to be exploring for a while, and then you're going to interact with Walton Goggins' character, and that's where the last 4 or 5 episodes are really going to be deep in that, up section of the plot, I suppose. We got a little maybe backstory for Walton Goggins and why he is the way he is in here as well. You know, anytime they play I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire, like, I'm in there. That's nostalgia 101 for me at this point with Fallout. So yeah, it was all really working for me. I thought it looked really solid, and I personally prefer the binge method here on this one for the viewing side of things, I think. So that'll work out well for me. Let's see these other ones. Inside Out 2. You know, it's funny watching the trailers for this because it's feeling like a trailer for like a fighting game, like Smash Bros or something, where like the new trailer, it's always like, ooh, what new characters are they going to show off in this new trailer? And that's what it was here for, like, ooh, we got envy and boredom and embarrassment. And like, I can't wait to see these new characters on the roster. And I think they all look really fun. Getting more and more excited for this movie. When I saw that was on the docket for this episode, I'm like, what are they going to show in Inside Out trailer 2 that's going to get me just over the wall hyped? And I think this did a pretty good job of doing that, all things considered. And what you're saying there, too, of kind of these new characters coming in and then locking up our old ones, and they probably have to go on some journey to get out. So
yeah,
that seems fun. I'm into that. And then the real world stuff for the main character, too. That just seems like it's pretty straightforward, but it's like just classic kind of coming of age sort of story in that way. So it seems like fun. I feel like I'm totally out of loop on the Strangers thing. I feel like I've never heard of this in my life, and you guys are talking about this like it's some iconic horror franchise. So maybe I'm just very out of the loop.
You even agreed to maybe do the retro with us because you're like, yeah, I may be down.
Well, you probably described it, but like I don't know. Like even then,
yeah.
I have no recollection of this movie, and I went through and looked at the director. I've like never heard of him, never heard of any of his other movies. So it's just this.
Oh,
weird...
he directed Die Hard. He directed Nightmare on Elm Street. He was like not the first one, but he's done a lot of things. Remy Harlan.
Maybe
so.
I'm looking at the wrong guy. Then when did
Are
this
you
movie come out? 2008.
Are you? Oh, you're looking at you're looking at the wrong one.
A young couple staying in an isolated vacation home or terrorized.
This is the original. So here's the timeline. That comes out 2008. The Strangers. It becomes an iconic movie because it's not the first to do it, but it did a really good job of there's lots of things in the background and they don't point them out. You don't know. So it's the thing, someone's standing there and then they'll move. You're like, fuck, that was back there. No big jump scares. They made a sequel years later that was very mid, and they had this idea now, whichever company has the rights. They said they're going to do a trilogy of movies, but now this is, and they said it was a reboot, but this is kind of looking like a reboot, remake kind of hybrid because it's a lot of the similar plot beats of couple together, they're alone in a cabin.
What do you guys like? What is the good movie?
The 2008 one is like the
original
good shit. Yeah.
So that's the guy I'm
Liv
talking
Tyler.
about. Like I go on this.
Oh
guy.
yeah, him. Yeah, not so much. Yeah,
I'm so confused by this.
But Remy
goddamn
Harlan in the
franchise.
90s, for the guy that's doing this one, he was a very experimental director, so he does do some cool stuff. So
I'm still a little confused, but I don't know. It's weird because this trailer just looked like a very generic horror movie of a couple in the woods. So there's a little bit there of like, ooh, who are these people towards the end of it? But whatever that is, it seems like it's interesting. But if you guys already know what the twists are going to be, because it's just going to be a 1-to-1 thing, I could see that not being as exciting for you guys, but for me, who doesn't know anything about these movies, like maybe it could be really solid if it's well done.
Perfect.
So I'm interested. I like horror movies like this. Am I going to go to the theater for it? Probably not, but I would easily watch this when it hits Netflix or Disney Plus, wherever it goes.
wait for the whole trilogy, all 3 chapters.
Can't wait. Yeah. Watch them all back to back. And then what have I not talked about here? The Watchers. I thought this was a really solid trailer. Once again, like a little bit generic in terms of some of the plot, but then it's weird, and you can definitely tell. Yeah, once again, the Shyamalan elements of it, of the confusing narrative and what's really going on, what's real. And the thing that stood out to me here was I thought it had really good cinematography. Like there were some really good shots. I really liked what's a pretty classic angle of the blood like dripping down onto their table while they're eating. But then I really like that camera angle they went to afterward, which is like a top-down view of like looking at the bird upside down. At one point, he like puts his case of beer in the fridge, and you can like barely see his eye like through like a part of the carton of the beer. It just feels really artsy in some of these shots when they're like the guy throws the axe through the door, and then like a very quick shot to like her perspective. Just some really interesting stuff there on the camera work. So I'm pretty into this. I think this looks like a fun time. But one thing that threw me off big time was just like halfway through this trailer, just like a pop song starts playing. It's just like the middle of the song. It doesn't like build into it. it's just some pop song, and it like really threw me off. I'm like, what is the tone of this? Like, it kind of took it away from the horror, creepy thriller vibes and made it seem more like lighthearted slasher or something. So I don't know how I feel about that, but I think this trailer did a good job of selling me on this after we talked about the synopsis, whatever it was a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Taylor, end us off. Take us home.
Watchers, I don't see that trailer, so I don't have anything to add with that.
Okay.
But The Strangers, yes, this it's more of what we're familiar with. I'm curious how we're gonna go about with this kind of prequel setting. The downside is because one of my favorite horror franchises, just because it's so wacky, is the Wrong Turn series, and not including that weird reboot remake movie, that's something else. But the fact that they went ahead and eventually got so far up the chain that they did a prequel film and started like beforehand, it doesn't work very well. I like when they keep the story going a little bit, but again, you have that 2018 sequel that just kind of wasn't the greatest. So they want to capitalize, and I'm hoping that this will be good enough to kind of steer us off and give us some better content with them. And the fact that they already announced it as a trilogy does make me apprehensive, because I just feel like we saw that with the Halloween trilogy, for example, and that just got murkier the longer it went on, even though it started off really, really good. So I'm afraid that we could see that with this. So hopefully not. And then we have Inside Out 2. Yeah, so it's been a long time since I've seen that first one. And I'll never forget just being fucked in the gauntlet by that movie. So when it comes to this one, though, like I'm excited. I really, really am. And it just I enjoy movies too, where again these are all kids movies, but I enjoy revisiting these Pixar films. And I've been on a Pixar binge lately. I did the Toy Stories, I did Bugs Life, Ratatouille, I did Cars, did getting to that one, all of these films. So I'm excited to get into Inside Out 1 and then get into this one now too. And I can't wait to be able to take my daughter to these to see these types of family movies.
You taking her to number 2?
No, I can't wait. But I'm looking forward to when the day comes.
Yeah, it's fun.
And Fallout, I think this trailer was definitely a step up, because the last one we got was just more like a teaser, wasn't it? Like the teaser of the trailer. Was that the other one an official trailer?
No, I think we got an official trailer. I think it was like a good minute and a half at least.
Okay. Yeah, this one, it was really cool to see the more of the world, and just I don't know a lot about Fallout. Again, my go-to was Elder Scrolls. That's always been my jumped on board ship. But with this world and just seeing the people kind of just laugh like, oh, you're one of those vault people or whatever, I think that's kind of humorous, and I just can't wait to see the innocent humor unravel of this person who's ready just to like make a life out of just being back up on the surface, and it's just horrible because you got robots trying to harvest your organs and all this crazy shit. So I'm really looking forward to this series, and I think this show's gonna be a great way that I can experience Fallout, even though I'm not necessarily playing the games knowing all the Easter eggs, but the show will do a good job at least being entertaining and enjoy and be an enjoyment for someone who's a noob, at least, on the franchise. So
maybe it's gonna be like X-Men animated series, make you even bigger Fallout fan.
Yeah, converted, not born again, converted.
That's converted fan. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. 606 in the books. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everybody for everything else you do. We'll be back, as always, multiple times throughout the week. Next newscast, who knows? But whenever it will be, it won't be boring. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.